watch football without the restrictions of blackouts or cable? Check out expressvpn.com to help you get access to all the live games. Sign up today using the link in the description to get 3 free months. Action. Kia ora, Boat fam. What's going on? It's the director. Good to see everybody here on this surprise Sim Saturday episode of this Chargers Sim series. It should be a good one. How's everybody doing today, man? Let's grab some shout outs in the chat. D Sarge, welcome to the crew, my friend. Jason Bones, Matt Maroney. We got Carlos Charger, John Ari, Piggy, Hugo the doorman boss. We got Mimopolis. We got Nick S. Good to see everybody, man. How's everybody doing today? Some more Chargers football coming down the pipeline. And man, dude, who's got the Chargers fever right now, man? With training camp going on and all that sort of stuff, I can't think of a more appropriate way than celebrating with some Chargers Sim Saturday featuring weeks 3 and 4. The Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Chargers, as well as the Houston Texans versus the Chargers. We got some unfinished business with them Texans. It should be a good one today, man. With that, yeah, dude, super excited to see stuff as we do go along in this game. If you guys do see anything regarding some fun stuff in training camp, please let me know. We'll be talking a little bit of training camp as we go through these Sim Sundays. Just give us a chance to chat, talk, and have a good time seeing how the Chargers do. As a quick note, the Madden 23 ratings have come out, and I have begun updating all of the ratings to match what EA has put out for their new game. But until then, I think I updated about a quarter, maybe half at the most of the players. So we should be seeing some updated rankings as we go along. Should be a good time, guys. Should be a very good time. With that, we're going to jump right in to week 3. The Chargers versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. It should be a fun one today, man. Get your predictions in right away. What do you guys think we're going to be looking at as far as the score? Should be a very interesting one, considering how the first 2 Sim Sunday episodes went. That Chargers defense looking pretty lethal, and we should be seeing something very similar here. Chargers versus Jacksonville Jaguars underway. Chargers will be receiving first on offense. We'll see how things go, man. Again, as we update the ratings, hopefully it doesn't screw things up too much. But things are looking pretty good. The one big thing I was super upset about, I think, was definitely Justin Herbert not reaching that 90 threshold. But I still think an 88, even in Madden 22, is going to be looking pretty good. I'm seeing score predictions of 31-13, 34-20, 34-14. Yeah, Chargers versus Jacksonville Jaguars. It'll be a very interesting one nonetheless. Here goes our dude, Gerald Everett, who has been an absolute beast in the first couple of weeks of Sim Sunday, picking up a nice reception for 11 yards and a first down to tote, pushing through contact, 2 defenders in order to get that in there, man. 7's in the chat. Gerald Everett has been an absolute monster in this Sim series so far. Absolutely crazy. What's going on, Jeff Larson? Love the series. Thank you so much, sir. Here comes the first carry. No, it's a play action. Justin Herbert looking for a target. He's going to fire up the middle, and that's going to be Keenan Allen, who picks up a nice chunk of yards there. It's going to be 2 passes for 42 yards for Justin Herbert in his first couple attempts here. Very nice first opening drive on offense for the Bolts. Now past midfield into Jacksonville Jaguars territory. You guys are thinking 5 sacks combined for Bosa and Khalil. I think Bosa, Khalil Mack are going to have themselves a nice day versus the Jacksonville Jaguars offensive line. Here it goes, Justin Herbert having to kind of toss it away, but does make some yards out of it as he hits Austin Eckler on the run, and that picks up 4 yards while trying to evade. What would that be? That would be Josh Allen, and then their brand new pick, Trevin Walker, there on defensive line. Very interesting to see. Yeah, Hugo, I absolutely feel you, man. That was borderline disrespect. Also, while giving Joe Burrow the 92 rating, was just, it did not sit right with me at all. Here comes Austin Eckler, another reception here, picks up a couple more yards, putting the Chargers in their first 3rd down situation. Let's see if they can convert and try and get into that red zone. What's my baseball team? I got to tell you guys, I, for the longest time, have been trying to figure out a way to get into other sports, and I just can't do it. Even college football. Here comes Justin Herbert. He's going to hit his man in the flat. That's Gerald Everett, who picks up the first down. I'm just such a diehard Chargers fan, man. It's so difficult. If I had to choose a baseball team, I think a lot of people would, maybe guess Padres is probably where it's at, but I don't really watch anything else other than Chargers football. Yeah, definitely, sir, definitely. Here comes the Chargers on their next first down attempt here at the 25-yard line, 5 yards from the red zone. Let's see if Justin Herbert and the offense can put up 6 in their first offensive possession. That's going to go incomplete, giving us a second and 10 for the Chargers. Yeah, I got to go for the Padres, man. Waiting to see another elite show by the wonderful defense. Yeah, the defense has been insane. In real life, too, that defense has been looking on fire in training camp. Giving Justin Herbert problems, that's a really good sign for the season and this defense to improve. Here comes another pass to Austin Eckler in the flat. He's going to turn that into a first down and much more as the Chargers are 10 yards away from pay dirt in their first offensive possession. Yeah, signed Derwin already. Oh, man, dude, that's such a big thing going on right now. NFL Network, it's all they talk about when they bring on the Chargers, right? They're like, oh, they got some good pieces in there, but what happens? Derwin James is that. It really does feel like it's just a protocol thing, right? You don't want to go out there and get hurt before getting your new contract. I do expect that to happen very, very soon. Here comes a screenplay. It gets blown up by the Jacksonville Jaguars defensive line. That's going to put the Chargers again here in 2nd and 10, very close to pay dirt from 10 yards. You think it'll be done before our first preseason game? As far as the contract, oh yeah, I would actually, if it were just me, like guesstimating, I would say it gets done in the next few days. I would say a week tops, but they need to get Derwin out there on the field with all these new faces. Here comes Justin Herbert passing into the end zone, and it's going to get broken up. That was intended for Austin Eckler. It's going to put the Chargers in 3rd and 10. Can they draw something up to get in the end zone, or are they going to have to settle for 3? Do we have the money to sign Derwin? Yes, we do. Chargers are going to be kind of hard-pressed in their cap next season. It should let up a little bit the next season, but after that, we got to pay Justin Herbert. Here comes Justin Herbert looking for a target. He's going to hit in the side, and it's going to be dropped by Josh Palmer, who got his mitts on it, just couldn't hold on. And then I'll put the Chargers in a 4th and 10. They're likely going to have to take the points here. Man, Josh Palmer, in real life, he is coming down with that pass every single time. Since the last Chargers game last year. What's going up, Danny B? Yeah, it was a tough one. It was definitely a tough one to end the season last year, but this team is looking absolutely transformed. Should be a good season this year. Who's going to get more sacks and pressures, Bosa or Mack? I would have to guess it would be Joey Bosa, right? But Khalil Mack, dude, you never know. Sometimes a player switches teams into a brand new system, a better environment, better talent overall, and they just pop off. So Khalil Mack, he's also a sleeper to go out there and break his own record. I think was around 15 sacks a couple seasons back. Going to use him so much, want to make sure he gets paid accordingly. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. They need to make sure that Derwin James is properly compensated. If you guys are wondering, I do believe Derwin James will probably enter in the realm of $18.5 to $20 million annually, somewhere around there. And I would expect the Chargers to lock him up for at least 4 years, if not more. Let's see, there was something I wanted to try here, dudes. Let me give a look here at the resources real quick. The Chargers, after taking 3, are going to punt it back to the Jacksonville Jaguars, or kick it away. And we're going to see a return here around the 25, 26-yard line for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let me take a look at something here real quick, guys. All right, back to the game, waiting for the Chargers defense to come out and show us what they've got. Again, last week was absolutely insane in terms of Chargers defensive plays. We'll see if they can come out and do the same thing. Derwin starting the day in the box. They're going to actually rush him in a safety blitz. And look at that. Number 43, that's Michael Davis. Comes in there for a nice pass breakup while the Chargers apply the pressure to Trevor Lawrence in the very first play of the game. Josh Kelly or Roundtree getting cut this season with Horvath or Spiller. I think Josh Kelly gets cut. You could certainly make an argument for Roundtree as well, but I think Josh Kelly, as good as I've seen him be at times, he's not careful enough with the football. Too many turnovers. Here comes James Robinson for his first carry. It's going to get blown up right away. Drew Tranquil in there to stop him there. And it's going to be a 3rd and 10 just like that. The Chargers defense once again coming out here and putting in some serious work. 3rd and 10 for Jacksonville. Yeah, Pipkins is in there, by the way. Trey Pipkins is in there. Here comes the Chargers pass rush, just absolutely dominating. Trevor Lawrence has got to get rid of it, throws it into double coverage, and J.C. Jackson is there to defend against Laviska Shenault. Can't come down to it, and that's honestly a super clean and efficient 3 and out for the Chargers defense. The offense will be getting their mitts on the ball again here shortly. How insane is this Chargers defense? Pretty wild if you ask me, dudes. Absolutely insane. All right, we're going to keep this here for a second, and we'll see how that turns out. What's going on? Byron Leva with the $10 holla. Thank you so much, sir. He says, I'm going to watch the replay, but y'all have a great Saturday. Let's go, Bolts. Celebrating my daughter's Lexa's birthday today. Happy birthday, Lexa. She was the one born during Sim Sunday last year. Oh, my goodness, man. How time freaking flies. Let's go, Bolts. Let's make it 4-0. Byron, thank you so much, sir. $10 holla celebrating the 1-year anniversary and birthday to Alexa. Happy birthday, young one. There we go. That's working on there now.
I'm a watch the reply, but you'll have a great Saturday.
Thank you so much, Byron. I appreciate the love there, sir.
Alexa's B-Day today. She was the one born during Sim Sunday last year. Let's go, Bolts. Let's make it 4-0.
Thank you so much, Byron. Really do appreciate the love. Here comes Justin Herbert, who does sling it to Austin Eckler, and Eckler is going to take it all the way up there for a first down. Happy birthday, Alexa. You got a solid pops right there, Alexa. If our right tackle struggles by week to depend on right tackle like Ryan Ramczyk, we could maybe look into adding another person, but I think the Chargers get an answer a lot sooner than that as Gerald Everett, the star of Sim Sundays this season so far, takes a huge Justin Herbert H-bomb all the way to the house, and that's going to be a Chargers touchdown. Easily breaking through contact, taking it all the way into the end zone, and the Chargers take a really quick 10-0 lead over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow! Number 7 in the chat. This dude has been on fire this season. Get out of here. That was just like Jalen Guyton, man. Touchdown, Bolts. Freaking, dude, I'm hoping that Gerald Everett is 10% of what we're seeing in Sim Sundays. This dude's insane. He's like a 76 or something on this team. The dude's just been wild for the Chargers this season. This game's going to be like 47-3. Yeah, with how the Chargers defense and this whole team as a whole performed over the first couple of weeks, I don't know, man. In real life, you can almost say the same thing. If the Chargers get off to a hot start versus, the Raiders and the Chiefs, then we're facing what? I actually got the schedule right here. Of course, you got the Jags, you got the Texans, you got the Browns, who are likely not going to have Deshaun Watson or Baker Mayfield. They still have a nice running attack. You got the Denver Broncos, which is going to be pretty tough. You got Seattle and the Seahawks. You get the Atlanta Falcons. It's a pretty manageable first half of Chargers football, and early wins could be more important than ever when going into the 2022 season. 1st and 10 for Jacksonville, who feel 11-yard lines where they're going to start it. And Trevor Lawrence going to have his work cut out for him as Bosa and Mack do apply the pressure. He has to toss it away very quickly once again. He is 0 for 3 so far. Well out of reach of his receiver. It's going to be 2nd and 10 at the 11. Again, I don't know what this Jacksonville team's going to do versus this Chargers defense that has been so dominant so far. 1-year anniversary about 26 days ago. Hey, Josh Rod. Thank you so much, sir. I really do appreciate the support. 1-year anniversary. There comes, Derwin James in the middle. Did not let that come down. Number 13 tries to come down with it. That's Christian Kirk. Big offseason acquisition for the Jags. And he gets popped by number 3. Drops it. Now you're looking at a 3rd and 10 Jacksonville just not able to get anything going. Of course, we went up against two talented offenses of the Chiefs and Vegas Raiders, which did give us issues. But right now, the Jags really not getting any momentum, as once again another pass almost intercepted. I think that was J.C. Jackson and Derwin James in the same area of the field. Why would you ever throw that, Trevor? And now we're looking at another 3 and out for the Chargers defense. This defense is so lethal, dudes. Again, the two, I would say, more talented offenses definitely gave us some scary moments, but they definitely had a hard time versus this Chargers D. This Jacksonville team just has no shot so far. Chargers offense, we still got 8 minutes in the first quarter. They're going to get the ball once again. We might be able to see a little bit more involvement from guys like Eckler and Isaiah Spiller as the Chargers continue to tack on points to improve their lead. This is insanity to me, dudes. Absolute insanity. Chargers defense has been on another level. Are you going to another Chargers game this year? Yes, I am. Still have yet to figure out which one it is, as our schedule is going to be pretty insane this holiday season, as Mike Williams picks up a very nasty pass there, takes it for a big first down. Justin Herbert in the first 7 minutes of play is over 150 yards passing and a touchdown. How? And this is post adjustments. Justin Herbert is no longer a 90. He is an 88 via the Madden 23 ratings. But yes, we will be figuring out a game, and I will announce it before purchasing tickets and stuff and all that too, just to make sure we have enough people that want to come and attend and say hello. What is our sim record this year so far? The Chargers are 2-0 so far, taking down the Kansas City Chiefs rather easily, which was probably the biggest shocker from last week's episode, and almost walking away with the loss from the Raiders. A last-second effort there to retake the lead. It resulted in a season opener win as well. The first game has also obviously been the closest one versus the Raiders. 2nd and 7. It's going to be to Mike Williams, who can't come down with it. We're looking at 3rd and 7 at the 35 for the Chargers. DG says, Sim Saturday. Yes, we had to make up for the Sunday that we missed. Of course, you guys probably know we had a COVID situation last week, which was absolutely horrible. It was a horrible week. I can't even tell you guys. I can't even begin to describe how horrible that week was. But we had to catch up before tomorrow's episode, which is still airing at the appropriate time. Here comes another first down and more by who else? Gerald Everett picks up the 3rd down, turning it into a first down conversion, and the Chargers all of a sudden into the red zone. Gerald Everett, I don't know, man. This dude just kind of does it all for the Chargers offense in Madden, at least so far. He's been an absolute beast. Carlos, thank you so much, man. Chiefs without Tyreek Hill is going to be surprised a lot of people. Yeah, I think that was a big reason why we didn't see a lot of big plays. Justin Herbert's going to go down. Number 80 or 95, Robertson Harris is going to come in for the sack. DJ or DGeebs, thank you so much for coming a member, my man. 20 months in the membership crew aisle there, man. Really do appreciate the love and support, man. There he says, yes, time certainly does fly. 20 months. How can I can't even believe it's been that long. 2nd and 16 for Justin Herbert. He's going to hit Mike Williams up the middle, and Mike Williams, fighting through contact, is going to get down to the 6-yard line and pick up a Chargers, another 1st and goal situation for this team. This has been absolutely insane. Chargers offense, very efficient, scoring on every possession so far. Hopefully this one as well. And the Chargers defense has not allowed a single first down this game. 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. What's going on, Red? Thank you so much again. DGs, appreciate it. Xander Horvath is going to get the carry at the 6-yard line. He picks up 4 and almost picks up his first touchdown. Did he get a touchdown in the first couple episodes? I don't think he did. He did get a carry at the goal line, though. Xander Horvath being put to use early here. Now we're looking at Isaiah Spiller, Xander Horvath, I-form, goal line formation. What are they going to do? It's going to be a toss to Isaiah Spiller. Spiller just can't quite make it through the second wave of defenders. It's going to push the Chargers back to the 5-yard line. 3rd and goal coming up, but good to see the Chargers having some support there. Goal line situations, trying to punch it in with those big backs. 3rd and goal. Do they elect to pass or maybe hand it off one more time? They are passing. Empty backfield. Chargers 5 wide. They're going to try and get in through the air. Justin Herbert's going to sling it, and it's going to get overthrown and picked off by the Jaguars. Devin Lloyd, brand new linebacker, is going to go in there for the pick. He does run out back onto the field, giving the Jaguars the ball at the 2-yard line, but just an overthrown pass by Justin Herbert. It's going to get picked off. Unfortunately, the Chargers cannot end that drive with points, but the Jacksonville Jaguars have to begin this drive at the 2-yard line. Absolutely insane. The D is silent, says Mr. Director. The D is silent like Django, my friend. Appreciate it, man. Jeebs, thank you so much, man. Appreciate the love. $5 holla on top of 20 months. I really do appreciate the support, my man. Here comes Trevor Lawrence having to chuck it over the middle of the field. That's Laviska Shenault, who's going to pick up the first down and pick up plenty of room to operate as the Jags will have the ball at the 26-yard line. Yeah, no, that's not looking good. And again, Justin Herbert, we had to adjust the ratings. Hopefully that doesn't add too many more picks to the season. Thank you again so much, Jeeps. Really appreciate the love there, my man. But yeah, lots of interceptions so far for Justin Herbert, even with some dominating scores over the first couple of weeks. Here comes Trevor Lawrence, who's going to pick up another solid 10 yards or so. Again, Laviska Shenault looking like his favorite target this game. I think his number one receiver is Christian Kirk, who did get popped in the first drive for them offensively. Yeah, less than 2 weeks left until we see live Chargers football in preseason. At that time, I think the Chargers in the Sim Sunday will be about halfway through the season. Of course, I want to do 2 episodes or 2 games an episode this year, which has been quite a lot of fun. Speaking of Christian Kirk, he's going to get handed the ball here and gets tackled well behind the line of scrimmage by Nasir Adderley. Nasir Adderley made a couple of plays last week. Nasir Adderley, nice play there. 3rd and 4 coming up for the Jags, who just finally found a little bit of momentum on offense. Can they convert another first down here versus that Chargers lethal defense? Will Smith to wipe our memories of the interception. Yeah, sir. And here comes number 17 for the Jacksonville Jaguars, who's going to pick up the first down. Number 17, I think that's Marvin Jones. No, it's Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram, a brand new acquisition for the Jags this season, too. Their brand new tight end. He picks up a first down. Number 17, interesting number there. I wonder if that's accurate to their actual roster. That's another first down, Jags. Jags pulling together a drive here. Chargers defense would like to stand up and get a stop here as well. It's going to be a handoff to either Etienne or Robinson. I think, yeah, 25 is Robinson. He's going to pick up 1 yard on that play. Excuse me, guys. We're going to make sure that we wiggle the joystick a couple of times. Wink, wink. Throughout this sim series. But so far, the Jags trying to put up a fight here. First quarter, Chargers have been looking really dominant. Can they get a stop here at the 40-yard line? Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa getting in there, adding a lot of pressure. Might that be a mistake? And almost intercepted by Michael Davis. Davis was in the right area, just could not come down with it. Luckily for Trevor Lawrence, that is going to fall harmlessly to the ground. Nice defensive play by the offensive player there, number 13, Christian Kirk. 3rd and 9 coming up for the Chargers. Yeah, very, very close. 17 is accurate for Ingram. That's insane. Here comes 3rd and 9. Joey Bosa getting in there for some heat. And there goes Evan Ingram again, picking up another big chunk of yards and getting close to scoring territory here for the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are finally putting together a drive offensively. Yeah, we're looking for a Khalil Mack sack. We're looking for an interception. That interception would have been a big game changer there for Michael Davis. But again, the receiver was able to stop that from becoming a turnover. Michael Davis last year was better than Gilmore. Is that accurate? That would be insane. For our offense to be the real deal, Spiller needs to take over RB2. Palmer Guyton take control, wide receiver 3. Everett become, under this radar signing. I absolutely agree with that. Here comes Mack almost getting in there for a sack, and then a huge hit. I think that was Derwin James, and James has got the ball, returning it all the way down to the 35 or the 40-yard line. Chargers cause a turnover this game early, and it's Derwin James with the huge hit. I do believe he did recover it. Who had the big hit there? I think it was Derwin on both instances. Yes, with the hit, with the recovery and the return. Derwin James, number 3, makes a big play for this defense. Wow, Derwin, we see it. Let's get that man paid. Here goes Austin Eckler for his first carry. Picks up a couple yards. Big plays there, man. XZ says health is so crucial. They need to go easy next week. Yeah, absolutely they do. I think Brandon Staley's had a very big and focused emphasis on health this season. I do hope that carries on this year. XE, thank you so much for the $2 highlight. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Derwin James with the forced fumble and the recovery. Big play by number 3. Justin Herbert's going to toss it in the area of a receiver, well overthrown. And that's going to be a 3rd and 7. Can the Chargers get points this time? No more turnovers is all I'm asking for this offense going forward versus the Jags. Yeah, that's insanity, dude. Absolute insanity. How many picks has Derwin James logged this season? I'm hoping at least 5. There goes a nice reception, this time to Mike Williams, who picks up the first down. Justin Herbert looking to have a monster day in week 3 of Sim Saturday edition here in this Sim series. Already 200 yards through the air with still a whole quarter to play in the first half. He changed his number. What am I going to do with the original Derwin jersey? Ah, man, I'm still sporting that all the time. Here comes Austin Eckler trying to make something happen. He's going to pick up a couple yards, maybe 1 yard there. And it'll be a Chargers 2nd and 9. If anything, the Jags defensive line not looking too bad. Devin Lloyd coming up with an interception there. Their defense, I do think, is flying under the radar just a little bit. But that offense, we'll have to wait and see how Trevor Lawrence and his brand new weapons acclimate with Trevor Lawrence without having to have that horrible head coaching situation they had last year. Here comes Austin Eckler, another carry. He's going to get a nice chunk of yards this time, maybe 4. And that's going to be a 3rd and 5. Chargers at the 35-yard line. I'll have to wait and see what they do here. Austin Myers, member for 17 months, says, "Kia ora, director. Can't wait for this season to start. This has the most improved team I've ever seen." But can we talk about Sean Payton for a minute? How it works out if he joins the staff, if he ever does. Thank you first off so much. Here comes Austin Eckler on the screenplay. That's what you want to see from Eckler, who picks up the first down. I have been giving this a lot of thought. And Sean Payton, man, dude's a legend, right? Dude's a very, very nice head coach. And for those that don't know, the Chargers have been linked as a potential destination for Sean Payton, who he himself wants to maybe come back to coaching. And the Chargers are listed as one of those teams that he would like to come back to. As of right now, my opinion is we may have a Sean McVay as Justin Herbert misses his target up the middle. The Chargers may have their own Sean McVay on their hands, who just won a Super Bowl for the Los Angeles Rams just this last February. And I think so far what I've seen from Brandon Staley, I believe in him with the Chargers now, what he's doing and how he's building the team and the changes in culture. Even more so than Sean Payton coming in and trying to bring this team to a Super Bowl contention level as well. I don't know. I think Sean Payton would be really cool. I don't think he takes any other job other than head coach, so I don't think he would join the staff any other way. But right now, I think my flag is firmly planted in the Brandon Staley corner, which is definitely exciting because we definitely are starting to see some real potential in Brandon Staley becoming the real deal. Here comes a 3rd and 1 for the Chargers. It's going to be a flip to Gerald Everett, who can't quite find a hole. It's going to be a 4th and inches for the Chargers. Charger Chris coming in here with 19 months on the membership. He says, "Ready for Chargers football. My birthday was Tuesday, July 26th, and now I'm a member of the Die Hard Boat Club, Orange County. Let's go, man. I want to go to training camp this season." Congratulations on the membership there, Charger Chris. Thank you so much. 19 months of support. I could not be more grateful, man. Thank you so much. Here comes a 4th down attempt by the Chargers, and they're not going to get there. It was a carry by Austin Eckler, who couldn't quite get in there. They should have handed it off to Xander Horvath. Maybe that's a different story there. But they're going to turn the ball over on downs. Jacksonville Jaguars going to get another shot to try and close this gap a little bit with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. Kind of insane. So many yards offensively. Not enough points to account for them. Here comes Trevor Lawrence. Thank you again so much, Charger Chris. Happy belated birthday on the 26th. And we hope to see you, at least, in a photo with Justin Herbert. You know what I mean? Celebrating at Chargers camp this season. Ismael Montoya says, "Hey, director, $5 holla. Was so surprised this morning to see my new neighbor here in Costa Mesa. To my surprise, it was Zion Johnson." Ismael, really? Really? That's insane. That is an awesome coincidence there, my man. How insane is that? You're going to have to get that Zion Johnson jersey, start sporting around, doing, mowing your lawn. At the time, you're like, okay, so practice was over like 20 minutes ago. He's probably on his way back here. I'm going to go mow my lawn, specifically at this time with the Zion Johnson's jersey on. I'll just keep a Sharpie in my back pocket, too. That's insane, man. GG's on that. That's pretty fun right there. Here comes a pass in the direction of J.C. Jackson. Again, no interception, but it is broken up, and it's a quick 3-and-out for the Chargers defense once again. J.C. is not going to be fooled. Nice ability to get up there and break that up. Montoya, thank you so much for the $5 holla again. That is awesome. That is absolutely insane. Very, very, very cool thing. I mean, I would probably lose my mind. I would get a restraining order put on me so quick. Here comes the return by DeAndre Carter. Picks up a couple yards. Chargers offense going to get right back on the field in the mid section of the field here too, mind you. Hopefully, again, the Chargers got to put some points up. Lots of yards so far, and 2 of those drives have not amounted to points when they could have taken the field goals, which is, again, very familiar to the Chargers last season. Yeah, miss Nwosu a little bit. Yeah, Nwosu definitely is going to be missed. I think Khalil Mack, though, is definitely a good move for the team right now, though. Here comes Austin Eckler. Probably his best carry of the day so far. It's going to be 7 yards. 2nd and 3 coming up at the 48-yard line. Moves Costa Mesa in hopes of having a Chargers player as a neighbor. Yeah, I think I'm going to follow in those footsteps as well. Myers said, $2 holla. Thank you, Director, for your inputs. In Staley, we trust. Absolutely. I do like the thought of Sean Payton as well. As we hit, that's going to be Palmer, number 5 for the first down. Chargers, again, now in field goal territory. Hopefully can come away with some points here. I like the idea of Sean Payton for sure, but I'm becoming more and more invested every move, especially this offseason, that we've seen with Brandon Staley. And I think, honestly, at this point, you couldn't bring in Bill Belichick himself to get me to want to replace Brandon Staley at this time. Here comes another big reception for Gerald Everett, who's going to set up a 1st and goal situation, likely very close to a 1st and goal situation. Gerald Everett's got to be, close to 100 yards at this point, probably over. Especially after that H-bomb play for a touchdown. Gerald Everett has been a lethal chain mover for this team over the first 3 weeks. I appreciate it again, Osmar, $2 holla. I really do appreciate it. Here comes 1st and 10, close to the goal line. It's going to be a reception to Keenan Allen, who's going to pick up 5. We got about 5 yards to score here for the Chargers. 2nd and 4 coming up with 5 yards to score. Thank you again, Austin. Thank you again, everybody. And such a cool thing there, Montoya. Zion Johnson, the neighbor. Who would have ever guessed that, right? 2nd and 4, we do have I-form, and it's going to be Xander Horvath, the fullback. He's going to pick up a yard. Jacksonville linebackers were there to smoot. We're there to wrap that up pretty quickly, but cool to see Xander getting a couple of carries this game. I think he only got 1 or 2 in the entirety of the first episode last week. Got to protect the franchise quarterback, absolutely. Director says, Arias is why you're a Chargers fan. As the Chargers and Justin Herbert hits Austin Eckler in the flat, and that's going to be a Chargers touchdown. Austin Eckler hits pay dirt once again. The lethal dual weapon through the air and on the ground puts up another score, and the Chargers will be up 3 possessions here in the first half versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are still scoreless. Let's go, number 30, putting up some big fantasy points over the last couple of seasons. He's going to do it again there in week 3 versus Jacksonville Jaguars sim simulation. Now, why did I become a Chargers fan? I became a Chargers fan. I would say I got interested in sports around 2000. I was not sports, but NFL football around 2005, 2006, and I really became a Chargers fan, I would say, around 2008. And it was mainly because of the guy behind me there, LaDainian Tomlinson, man. I was so impressed with how he played football. The biggest reason I would have to say, though, is that I did have family in San Diego at the time. And San Diego was probably like one of my favorite places in the world. So it was very easy between loving LaDainian Tomlinson, getting into NFL football, and having, connections to San Diego that drew me to being a Chargers fan. We got a petition to have director commentate on one of these Chargers games. I so much enjoy doing it virtually here too, man. It's so cool getting, at times, a couple of thousand Chargers fans in the room hollering and cheering, in any given week, especially those big games, man, those primetime games, other than the one that I like to attend. It's such a cool, weird internet online organism that we figured out here, and it really has changed the way that I watch football as a fan, at least. It's been very, very fun. Powder blue jersey ordered a month ago. Let's go, Hugo. That's the way to do it. Here comes Trevor Lawrence trying to put something up for the Jags. He's going to pick up his tight end in the flat, who does grab the first down. Jacksonville Jaguars have the ball now at the 37-yard line. Oh, it was a good Chargers year? Yeah, man. I was pretty stoked, dude. I think I was really liking the Chargers in 2006. You can say I was a soft fan at that point, but in 2008, man, that's where I was like, this is my team. Like that. Now that I'm like really into the NFL, it's not too difficult to become a Chargers fan in 2008. Here comes a big play by Sebastian Joseph Day, who destroys that offensive line, and in turn, James Robinson. That's going to be a loss of 4 yards and a big play from new Sebastian Joseph Day defensive lineman. Big plays by this Chargers defense every single drive. 2nd and 14. Trevor Lawrence trying to find a target. He's going to hit his man up the middle. That's going to be Laviska Shenault, who breaks through initial contact of Nasir Adderley, and then cleaned up by Drew Tranquill and J.C. Jackson. Big first down for the Jags. It's Mitchell and Ness throwback salad too. That's super dope, Hugo. I got a jersey with the anniversary patch on it for LaDainian Tomlinson. Probably one of my favorites. So you know what? Now that I lost a ton of weight, I think I might start sporting it again. Here comes 1st and 10 for the Jags. They're going to hit their man on a wheel route. That's James Robinson. Robinson's going to take it all the way down to the 7-yard line. And this will be the first scoring opportunity in the red zone for the Jags this game so far, with 2 minutes left in the first half. Matter of fact, you guys remember that video talking about the San Diego Chargers about a month ago, right? The Vincent Jackson jersey I had in my closet, I have not been able to wear since high school. In this weight loss journey, that's what I wore. And it fit like a glove. It's been super exciting, man. Super exciting. Rivers become a quarterback's coach, dude. That's the way, that's what you hope, right? To me, Philip Rivers is so much more involved in the youth. I think that's where he's going to stay. He's going to continue coaching, high school and Pee-wee and all that kind of stuff. But for him to come back as a quarterback's coach for the Chargers would be so cool. It would mean so much to the Chargers fans. You have a signed Vincent Jackson football. That's the way. This is the way, Trap Lord. This is the way. Once again, we got to remember to wiggle the joystick, director. Wiggle the joystick. 2nd and goal for the Jacksonville Jaguars. 2-minute warning, and honestly, they got to get on the board right now if they have a chance at coming back at all this game. Trevor Lawrence is looking for a target. He's going to hit this man in the flat. That's once again James Robinson, who's going to get in there for a Jacksonville Jaguars touchdown, cutting that lead to 10 for the Chargers, pending the extra point. But at least keep it interesting, am I right? Austin Myers coming back in here with the $5 hard says, I hope Staley talked with Joe Lombardi this season. Open the playbook more with passing plays. Need more H-bombs this season. I absolutely agree. I think that's a big reason why so many of us were so in hopes of grabbing another speed option for Justin Herbert. And I think we do need to consider Gerald Everett as a speed option as well. Him and Jared Cook considered very fast tight ends. But at the same time, I think we're hoping that by adding another guy, that they would bolster maybe, adding, some more looks offensively to better utilize that speed with Justin Herbert's big arm. And I do hope they do, even without adding another speed option at wide receiver, do consider adding more looks for that. Because I do think from what we've seen, especially in Justin Herbert's rookie year, that big arm can have a big effect any given play. And just having that option has to keep defenses on their toes. I think Jalen Guyton is more than up to the challenge. But we do want to see more plays out deep for sure. Thank you again so much, Austin Myers, for the $5 holla. He says, I'm not sure if I told you, but the LT got his number retired. I took my white jersey and handed it to someone to have him sign. They never got it back. I think I remember you saying that, man. That is so sleazy. I'm sorry to hear that. No Chargers fan should ever take advantage of another Chargers fan that way. Rex B coming in here with a $20 holla. My man says, looking better, director. Khalil Mack is going to eat. Let's have the computer help us run through this one. Thank you so much, Rex.
Looking better, director. Khalil Mack is going to eat QBs this season. He's hungry. Slater says he's putting moves on him he's never seen before. Let's go.
Dude, I read that this morning, just in from Chargers training camp. Rashawn Slater, man, one of the best left tackles in football last season, Pro Bowler, and all pro. You know, this dude was absolutely wild in his first season in the pros. As, by the way, Keenan Allen picks up a nice first down for the Chargers, minute 51 left to play there. And he says that Khalil Mack still got that juice, man, that even without pads, dude, Gerald Everett coming down with a nasty play there. Even without pads on, even without a lot of contact, Khalil Mack is showing the means of becoming a big problem for opposing offenses this season on the Charge, especially Joey Bosa on the other side. Absolutely insane. Rex, $20 holla, my man. Thank you so much, dude. Cannot wait for Khalil Mack, and just this organism that we're seeing between him and Bosa looks so promising. Justin Herbert, we're seeing an H-bomb. He's going to go for Mike Williams, who's going to get the penalty, pass interference, and the Chargers will have the ball at the 1. I mean, I thought that was a little bit overthrown, but Mike Williams does his part to force the penalty, and that's going to give the Chargers the ball at the 1. Absolutely. I was going to add on to that, Rex. I just saw a clip this morning of Bosa and Mack walking onto the field for practice, and they got pushing and shoving each other a little bit, and they immediately started working on perfecting their techniques, and that just, to me, was just so, that's what you want to see from that duo. As Justin Herbert hits number 5, that's a Chargers touchdown. The Chargers answer in less than a minute of game clock, and they're going to be ahead 3 possessions yet again. 24 points in the first half, and the Chargers offense and defense looking very dominant in their first game here at Sim Sundays episode 2. Against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Absolutely insane. Rex, thank you again so much for the $20 holla, my man. Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, the Heat. I've been waiting so long for a Chargers season that features premium pass rushers opposite Joey Bosa. I loved Melvin Ingram back in the day, especially before his slight decline with the team. Jenna Nwosu saw some flashes, but this is a brand new, much higher ceiling option that we've had in a very long. Honestly, the best duo that we have since Sean Merriman and Sean Phillips, and that's the way to play football, man. Appreciate the love there, Rex. Dude, Josh Palmer, palm trees in the end zone for the Chargers touchdown. Chargers up 24-7. This game has been close to what I would expect in real life, if I'm being honest. But you never want to say that because of what happened with the Texans last season. But, man, this defense, if we've seen any indication of their dominancy during training camp, we should see even more now in real life in these pockets of games that shouldn't be too insane. Jacksonville's going to start the drive here at the 18-yard line. Has anyone seen Khalil Mack at practice? The YouTube videos don't show much. I'm eager. Yeah, he's been at practice for sure. Him and, like Rex said in his $20 holla, almost intercepted by Michael Davis. That was his second opportunity for an interception this game. Like mentioned by Rex, his reps versus Rashawn Slater have been giving Slater a lot to think about and a lot to expand on, because he's just been putting on brand new stuff that Slater's never seen. Which, again, very promising when you add it with Joey Bosa on the opposite side. Very cool. Here comes 2nd and 10 for Trevor Lawrence, who's going to hit his man in the flat. It's been James Robinson as the most productive receiver for Jacksonville so far. That puts Trevor Lawrence at about 150 yards and a score so far. They're going to have to burn a timeout here. About a minute left in the first half. And they're looking to try and close the gap yet again. They got the ball at the 27-yard line. Hugo says, the guys at Guilty as Charged mentioned earlier that some undrafted players hit Isaiah Spiller a bit too hard in practice, knocking his helmet, and he sort of hit his head on the ground. They cannot do that, man. Here comes Trevor Lawrence trying to hit Christian Kirk up the middle. Chargers defenders right there to break it up. It's a 4th and 1. At this point, do you go for it, Jacksonville? I don't think you can. They're going to have to punt it away, giving the Chargers a minute to maybe even add more to the score. Undrafted guys hitting the 4th round pick. That is no bueno, dude. If I were Brandon Staley, I would have lost my mind and cut those dudes on that day. You got to be more careful than that in practice, man. That I don't know who did it, but man, that does heat me up just a little bit. Cali Country, what's going on, man? Good to see ya. Kia ora. The RB says, have you all seen Horvath ripping the mustache? The dude's been insane, man. Both on the ground and through the air too. This guy's very versatile. Both him and Isaiah Spiller and Austin Eckler, all these guys kind of share those traits of versatility. Dual threat. Very, very cool. Here comes a screenplay by Austin Eckler, who makes a man miss. He's going to follow his blocks all the way for a first down. 44 seconds. Could the Chargers add even more to this lead with just 59 seconds left on this drive? They're at the 40-yard line. They got 2 timeouts. This could get ugly very, very quick. My online head-to-head just placed me against the Jaguars. Yeah, that's the universe working in unison. Brandon seems to be a nice coach. He is nice, but I do think you got to get sturdy when you need to. Here's Austin Eckler, who grabs the screen, but just loses the momentum and gets hit behind the line of scrimmage. Chargers call another timeout. They got 1 left, and they're looking at a 3rd down here. 2 back-to-back screen passes to the halfback. Second one gets blown up. Offseason's been so exciting. It's flown by. Can't believe we're only 2 weeks away. It's been so long for me, dude. It was so exciting at first, but I think May and July have just been insane to me. Or June and July, I should say, because this team carries so much potential to be so dominant that I want to get to the point where I get to see it now. And now we're in training camp. It's starting to massage that a little bit, but oh my, dude, I've been just every day waking up like, how many days to camp? How many days to preseason? How many days to kickoff? It's going to be insane. That's going to be a 4th down for the Chargers. They're going to like to punt it away with the nice lead here. And we're going to see a flag on this play on special teams. Don't see that too often. Holding against the Jags. They're going to have to start at the 11-yard line. We're going to likely see them run it a couple of times and take it into the tunnel. Bengals are lucky. Why? I like the Bengals, actually. I really do. I hate to say it. Unless we're ever facing them, of course, you know. But I remember liking Joe Burrow a lot the first time I watched him play versus us, right? And Tyrod Taylor. And I've been kind of a Joe Burrow fan ever since, if you had to look outside the Chargers for some fun football. Which is why I think a lot of people like that I talk to that are Bengals fans, I don't get it, right? Because there's always going to be this beef between who's the better quarterback from the 2020 class. Is it Justin Herbert or Joe Burrow? I obviously think it's Justin Herbert. I know it's Justin Herbert. He's had the best, start to his career in NFL history. But it doesn't mean I don't like Joe. I love Joe Burrow. But it feels like a lot of Bengals fans don't feel the same way about Justin Herbert because of that little bit of beef, which is kind of weird. Hey, thank you so much, Drew. Yeah, that COVID week when it was particularly bad, that was no bueno, man. That was absolutely no fun. We all know Herbert is better. I think that's wise because we're not insecure. Like, we just know. We know Herbert is better. We don't have to prove nothing. And that allows us the freedom to be open-minded and letting other quarterbacks, have their due. Yeah, Herbert is everything better than Joe Burrow. But I like Joe Burrow a lot too, and I think Joe Burrow is a fantastic quarterback. Him and Justin Herbert, like, there are eras where you see like the best of the best quarterbacks come into the league, and there's good quarterbacks along the way after that, but it's going to be Herbert and Burrow for a long time after some of the old dogs leave, like Tom Brady, right? And Matt Ryan and all these other guys, the older quarterbacks. After that, I think it's the Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow show for a while. The Jags trying to make something happen here in the first possession of the second half. And it's going to start things off by a sack by the Chargers. You guys grab the number on that player. Here comes Joey Bosa trying to get another sack there. And it's going to be intercepted. Who is it? That's Bryce Callahan with the pick. Bryce Callahan's going to cause another turnover for the Chargers. And we've got ourselves the ball at the 40-yard line. Another brand new acquisition to the team, Bryce Callahan. Getting up there versus Christian Kirk. Getting the ball right back for the Chargers offense. Very nice play, man. It was Khalil Mack with the sack. Thank you so much, Josh Rod. Thank you so much. Khalil Mack gets another sack this game. Here comes a carry for Austin Eckler. Not too much production this week. At least versus this Jags defensive line. He's going to get blown up there for -3. But nice interception by Bryce Callahan. Bryce Callahan, man, might be a little slept on, right? Like, I know he's battled so many injuries, it feels like you're kind of expecting it. But when he's healthy, the dude is still one of the best slot cornerbacks in the league. There goes a sack against Justin Herbert. 2 back-to-back plays getting blown up. I forget how to say this man's name, but I think he was a very nice defensive tackle from the Jets. Fautowski, something like that. I do expect him to be a nice addition for the Jags this season. And the Chargers looking at a 3rd and 21. I'd be impressed if they convert or at least get in field goal range at this point. Yeah, new Madden's coming out soon. Be excited to see the Sim Sundays on there when we do transition over. We're going to see a pass to the flats. It's Austin Eckler. Picks up maybe a yard. And we're looking at 4th and 20 where the Chargers are going to have to punt it away. Nice. 4th and 20 for the Chargers. We'll be right back, guys. Give me 1 second here. And we are back as Trevor Lawrence takes it himself for a first down there on the run. Jags got the ball at the 24-yard line. Herbert does have an Instagram account, so he's on social media. Yes, he is. I was always disappointed I couldn't be like, yo, Philip Rivers, what's up, bro? Your childhood hero. Here comes James Robinson trying to break a tackle against Michael Davis, cleaned up by Nasir Adderley. 2nd and 8. Whole half of football left to play. Anything could happen, but right now Chargers defense and offense are looking in prime form, right? In mid-season form. IG ran by his management. I did see him talk about his Madden rating, though. He's like, oh, I feel like it's pretty generous at 88 overall. I was like, dude, we're all mad on your behalf. The dude is too humble. He's so humble. I love the guy. Tranquil, Kenneth, Van Noy, Bosa, JC, Michael Davis going to absolutely lock up this year. Yeah, dude, that's one thing that I've been so excited about in training camp right now is that DB group, especially when you bundle them up with the pass rush. It's been absolutely insane. Derwin James has his X Factor on right now as Khalil Mack gets in there for his 2nd sack of the game. Khalil Mack turning a 3rd down opportunity into a 4th and 16. Trevor Lawrence is going to have nightmares of 52 tonight. Khalil Mack, the dude's on fire so far this season. I think, at least 5 sacks so far in the first 3 weeks. Of course, Madden's going to be a little inflated. But you can't expect, anything less than a nice performance from Khalil Mack in real life this season, too. Another big play by the Chargers defense, forcing a punt, and the offense will trout right back out there on the field. This makes respect the scouts so much more. The fact that they know how good Herb is crazy. Yeah. When everybody else was doubting Justin Herbert, the Chargers knew what they had in him. And that is going to make a big difference for this team for very many generations of football fans. Keenan Allen's going to pick up a couple yards there. 4 receptions for 60 yards for Keenan Allen so far. The reception king is still at his ways here. 9 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. Chargers up 24-7. They could honestly put this game away so early with a score here because that defense just has not been letting up very much for the Jags. Here comes a carry by Austin Eckler. I think it was Lloyd once again. No, it's Fatowski once again there for the stop. And the Chargers will be facing a 3rd and 4 here. 3rd and 4. I got to agree with you there, Arya. I love how when asked how hungry he is, he says, "I'll show you," and walks off. Dude, how epic was that? Khalil Mack is just such a nightmare to contain. Speaking of nightmare, there's Austin Eckler. The defender tried to jump the route, missed it. Eckler gets the ball and takes it all the way to the 28-yard line. This puts Justin Herbert at over 300 yards passing this game. Could have been another interception there had it been a clean jump on the route. But instead, the Chargers get a first down all the way close to the red zone. Justin Herbert looking for a target. He's going to throw over the middle and hits a defender in the head. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Nice play by Austin Eckler. McDaniel's amazing hire John Lombardi, apparently. I feel you there. I try not to get too, bashing on fan bases, but sometimes, man, it's definitely warranted. Raiders fans, yeah. I forgot about their head coach getting fired because, yeah, that was insane, too. That last season for the Raiders was definitely kind of a mess. Here comes, or with the coaches wise at least, here comes another pass to Austin Eckler. Eckler been very involved. 11 receptions for 92 yards through the air. Eckler's been a nice piece of this offense this game. 3rd and 3 coming up. Charged at the 21-yard line. Even a field goal here, it goes a long way to putting this game away very quickly. We got Adams and McDaniels. It's going to take more than that, man. Especially with that offensive line. There goes a reception by Gerald Everett. Gerald Everett's going to bust through a couple of defenders. Takes it all the way into the end zone. That's another Chargers touchdown. This Bolts offense, man, firing on all cylinders. Look at this. 1, 2, 3 defenders, and Everett says, "No, thank you. I'd like a touchdown, please." And that is his 2nd touchdown of the day. Gerald Everett quiet a little bit for the last couple of quarters. Shows right back up with another touchdown play there. And Everett, again, one of the MVPs of Sim Sunday so far. Touchdown to number 7. This man has been unstoppable. Let's be real, Jags are a joke. Trevor Lawrence might be a bust, unfortunately. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be great. He's just going to need some time, right? And I think the Jags, their defense, like I mentioned earlier, definitely flying under the radar a little bit. You just got to wonder some of the decisions they've been making in terms of acquisitions. Like, they've been kind of throwing money at everybody. That Christian Kirk contract is a joke. But you never know. I like Trevor Lawrence okay, right? And I do think he'll be good eventually, but it's going to take some more time. Bolts need to slow down if my 34-14 prediction is going to hold up. Yeah. They're 3 points away, and we still got, a half a quarter in the third quarter. Half the game clock in the third quarter. Marcus Mariota is so good. He snubbed for Carr. Made a huge difference. I had a lot of fun in that Duck Bowl, right? We got to see the 2 Duck legends in Herbert and Mariota go head-to-head. And we're going to see it again this year. Mariota, now the starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. That should be pretty interesting. Him and Kyle Pitts should be a fun one to watch. I think the Chargers definitely should be able to handle that pretty easily. Here comes Trevor Lawrence, still trying to figure out what to do against all this pressure. Speaking of which, here comes Khalil Mack, who applies the heat, and it results in a bad throw in the middle of the field. Khalil Mack getting another hit on the quarterback. 2 sacks this game. Mack has been on fire. Little backup quarterback for the Chargers. What's his name, guys? We love Easton Stick, man. We love Easton Stick. Daniel's okay, too. But he seems more like a mentor for the Justin Herbert. And that's been working out very well. Here comes another carry by James Robinson, picking up a couple of yards. Once again, it was Khalil Mack and Drew Tranquill in there to force him to a small gain. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, once again, looking at a 3rd down at their own 21. This defense has just literally given them so little room to operate. So many opportunities for the offense to really inflate that score. And that's why I'm so excited to see what the Chargers do in real life this season. There's Trevor Lawrence to Christian Kirk, finally converting a first down, getting him down to the 35-yard line. You think Kyler Murray deserves a big contract? Yeah, I do. I think Kyler Murray is definitely one of those guys where if you don't wrap him up now, you're going to be looking for a quarterback for a long time. And I do think he's very good. I think you can talk me into top 10. I think he deserves that contract. Forgot the Bolts picked up the Illinois quarterback. Yeah, the other guy too. I forget his name in training camp. Here's a short pass to Evan Ingram, who's going to pick up 5 or 6 yards. It's going to be a 2nd and 5 at the 41-yard line. Just don't know how the linemen are going to stop Joey, Trank, Khalil. Yeah, it's so much. Not to mention, I do expect to see more of Derwin James in what they call the X position, right? Which is that hybrid linebacker edge position. And he's probably going to get involved in that pass rush quite a bit this season, too. Yeah, Brandon Peters. That's right, Brandon Peters. We've been seeing him at training camp, too. I hope Easton gets to stick around, though, man. I like what we're all kind of still banking what we saw from him in that preseason game a couple of seasons back, right? He was on fire. He was running all over the place. He looked great. 7-31 is your score. 4 minutes left in the third. It's kind of just protocol at this point. Hopefully the Chargers do run it a lot more. Drain that clock. Get in and out of here. Get ready for the Houston Texans, which will be ensuing here shortly. We are... can't tell how many minutes into the stream so far. About an hour into the stream so far. Things are looking good for the Chargers in their first game of this episode. Wonder who's going to be the first $60 million per year quarterback. You could talk me into Justin Herbert. What do you guys think as far as Herbert's contract? It's going to have to be in the Mahomes area, right? Here comes a sack by Jerry Tillery and then cleaned up by Kyle Van Noy. Both of them getting half a sack there. Jerry Tillery and Van Noy looks like the starters, maybe taking a breather here as the Chargers are up so much. Nice to see Van Noy and, of course, Jerry Tillery get a piece of the pie there. There's Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack back on the edge. Yeah, Kyle Van Noy with the sack. Joey Bosa getting in there, generating some heat. There goes Trevor Lawrence on the run, trying to do something. Well, that looks like it was thrown beyond the line of scrimmage, but no, it's not going to get called. It's going to be Marvin Jones running back to pick up the first down. 25-yard line, and the Jags may have saved this drive with that last-ditch effort by Trevor Lawrence. Did you see the insane amount of fans attending training camp? Yeah, the Chargers fans, man, they're showing up. I think we're ready to really leave that narrative behind as James Robinson gets wrapped up. That narrative of Chargers have no fans, it's becoming less and less poked at as the last couple of seasons have gone on. Like last year, I went to a game personally, and dude, there were so many Chargers fans. Yes, there were a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers fans there too. That's a pretty big, dedicated, traveling fan base. But there was just so many Chargers fans. That tailgate was one of the best things I've ever done in my life. So much fun. And then you take a look at practice this season. It's packed. It's absolutely packed. I think the new team, unfortunately for their fans, because we've been there, it sucks having that joke kind of, held over you. But the Washington Commanders, dude, like 6 people showed up to their training camp. I got it. You got to feel bad for that organization. That organization's really imploded. There goes Trevor Lawrence trying to take off for the first down. It looks like he's going to pick it up. Trevor Lawrence keeps that drive alive on the ground. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Did you guys see the photos from the Washington training camp? It's borderline. I don't want to say pathetic because I actually feel bad for those fans, man. That fan base for a long time was so loyal and so broad, and right now it just feels like, what are you doing with all the rebranding? I hate the new name. I hate the new look. I don't necessarily disagree with the name change, necessarily, but I do think there's so many other things that they could have done to still honor the old team while ushering in the new, and then the design, everything. We're so lucky as Chargers fans that we kept the name, and our design team is one of the best in the business. Here comes a short pass. Kind of a weird one by Trevor Lawrence. It's going to be wrapped up very quickly. Evan Ingram. And it's going to look at 2nd and 10 as the fourth quarter has officially begun. Wesley Duke, what's going on, man? What's our record so far in the Sim Series? The Chargers, very close game week 1 versus the Raiders. Ended up taking that win. Surprisingly stomped the Chiefs. Week 2, Chargers are 2-0. And likely going to be 3-0 after facing the Jags here in week 3. This series is going to get kind of insane once we reach the midpoint of the schedule, as we do know that schedule is going to get pretty steep at that point of the year. But right now, we got, in this episode in particular, we got the Jags, we got the Texans. Hopefully they can clean up both those teams, come away with the wins rather easily, and get back to work on their next that's going to be a touchdown Jags. Get to work on their next opponent afterwards, which I do believe, let's take a look here, is the Cleveland Browns and Denver Broncos. So a bit stiffer, right? Cleveland Browns got themselves a good running attack. Denver Broncos could end up being a problem because, yes, they do have Russell Wilson. But this week, it's going to be insane. Chargers got to get in and out. They got to get those wins because those early wins are going to be so, so important. Herbert, in my opinion, has done more than Rivers. It's so hard to talk about this, right? As the Jags went for 2 and they did not get it. They did not get it. It was Sebastian Joseph Day getting in there initially for the sack and then cleaned up by Kyle Van Noy. Nice duo there of brand new Chargers, stopping the Jags from adding any other points. It's going to be 13-31 Chargers, as they're going to get the ball back here with 13 minutes left to play. They got to start running it. Get out of this game, baby. And by the way, guys, Sim Sunday is still going on tomorrow. Just mind you that. Yeah, Sim Sunday is still happening tomorrow. Back-to-back episodes, Saturday and Sunday. We might do this again one more time throughout the season, just to keep you on your toes, right? Because I would like to get the Sim Sundays series wrapped up before week 1 of kickoff there. We got a $10 holla coming in from Joss Rod. He says, don't be surprised if Herbert takes less money. His demeanor doesn't seem like he would ask for max money. He might want to give Chargers flexibility to keep other stars for a long time. We've seen this with other quarterbacks like Tom Brady. And I wouldn't be surprised if Justin Herbert falls in those footsteps a little bit. Of course, the cap is always going to be increasing, so signing him earlier rather than later is going to look good in the long run. I would have to say there is a shot. There is a shot that Justin Herbert doesn't go over the top with his contract, but it is going to be pretty steep, right? It's going to be one of the biggest contracts in the NFL. I would say, optimistically, we could be looking at a contract that is just below Patrick Mahomes instead of superseding Patrick Mahomes, which would be very good for the Chargers, because as the cap continues to grow, you've got Justin Herbert under contract for, let's hope, at least 7 years on that deal. We will still have cap to work with as the cap continues to grow. But I think Herbert's more than worth it. It is going to limit what we can do a little bit more, but that's just the way it works, right? But still, if anybody was humble enough to take a little bit of a pay cut, it's Justin Herbert, but it's not always just up to the player. It can also be up to his management and stuff like that. But we'll see. I think the Chargers will work something out. After all, we're the same team that got J.C. Jackson, now what, like the 5th or 6th highest paid cornerback in the league, to sign for a very reasonable price. So you never know. Thank you so much, Josh Rudd, for the $10 holla. Appreciate your support of the channel and myself, man. Thank you so much, dude. Here comes the Chargers, who, as expected, are starting to run it quite a bit. Austin Eckler, a couple of nice carries, and we're now looking at a 3rd and 6, however, with 11 minutes left to play. Yeah, Justin Herbert's one of the most wholesome, humble, genuine human beings I've seen it play the quarterback position in a long time. Dude is just, he's kind of a Boy Scout, and you got to love that at the position. Here comes Justin Herbert, by the way, finding his target in Mike Williams, who's going to pick up a big play there for the Chargers. Again, getting in scoring distance. This team just seems unstoppable. Mike Williams hasn't scored this week, but he's had a couple of very nice first downs, and Justin Herbert's got to be, what, close to 400 yards passing this game? It's been a pretty exciting one here. Here we have a pickup for Isaiah Spiller, who's going to have a nice run here for 6 yards. The rookie getting a carry here, making up for some of those negative yards at the goal line a couple of series back. Nice play for the rook there. Thank you again, Josh Rod, for the $10 holla. 9:55 left to play there. Realistically speaking, there can be a team in the division that goes 12-5 to just miss the playoffs. Yeah, it could definitely happen. Here goes Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler's going to go all the way. What in the world? Chargers running to try and choose some clock, and instead it's a Chargers Touchdown! The Bolts back on the board again. Number 30, Austin Eckler with 2 touchdowns this game, making fantasy owners very, very happy. Is pretty much going to put this game on ice with still 9.5 minutes left to go. 13-38. This one just got so out of hand so early for Jacksonville. What a performance by this offense, by this defense. Austin Eckler just puts it away there. Yeah, definitely expecting to see some chew clock there, but Austin Eckler saw a hole, took it all the way to the house. We'll be right back, dudes. And we are back. I saw a cool question in the comments just a moment ago. So what are the chances Austin Eckler repeats another 20 touchdown year? I think he's still going to have himself a nice number of touchdowns. 20 is probably a bit much. As Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa getting free. Trevor Lawrence going to have to take off with it. He's going to round the edge there. Pick up about 9 yards on the ground. But I do think the Chargers are showing signs of wanting to get more running backs involved, right? Especially with Isaiah Spiller, Xander Horvath getting some nice touches and carries and opportunities in training camp. They want to make sure that their superstar in Austin Eckler, the guy who's really one of those standout pieces last year, can remain healthy and fresh for the most part. So I think his touchdowns go down a little bit, but I do think he's still going to have a very, very nice season as Bryce Callahan breaks up that pass. 3rd and 1 coming up, 8:40 left to play. I would guess that Austin Eckler scores somewhere in the realm of 13, 14 touchdowns. And Isaiah Spiller and Xander Horvath start eating into those just a little bit, but that's good. That should lead to more opportunities and options at the goal line to get home. Dude, look at that, dude. Asante Samuel Jr. off the edge from the cornerback position, runs in there for a sack this game. Asante Samuel Jr. logging a sack for his young career so far, forcing a 4th down for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they're going to have to go for it here in the 4th quarter. Chargers defense has been looking lethal. They're sending a lot of heat. Joey Bosa almost gets home, and he's going to pass it way deep, and that's going to be broken up by J.C. Jackson, forcing a turnover on downs, and the Chargers are going to have the ball right back on the 23-yard line. Let's go. Asante Samuel Jr., J.C. Jackson, making some big plays and forcing the Jacksonville Jaguars to make some poor decisions, giving the Chargers the ball right back. Here we have I-form right back. We got Austin Eckler, Xander Horvath. Horvath creating some nice space for Austin Eckler on that play. That puts Eckler at 76 yards and a tutty on the ground, as well as his touchdown through the air. There's a big day for Austin Eckler. Nice plays by the defense. Chargers offense just going in there, doing their thing. Like, I guess we're going to score again. I guess we're going into the 40s. We're not doing nothing too crazy. Here comes 2nd and 1. Justin Herbert, he is going to pass this down. He's looking. He's going to fire to the back of the end zone. And that is going to be received by number 81, Mike Williams, for a Chargers touchdown. It's going to booth review, but it looked like Mike Williams gets the toes in the back pocket, going right over the head of his defender. This game got ugly so fast, and the Chargers are just stacking it on. 7 minutes left to play. Might the Chargers go for 2? No, they're just going to take the extra point there. 45-13. This team, who came off to a very hot start in weeks 1 and 2, is just buried the Jacksonville Jaguars under the turf of SoFi Stadium. Wow, number 81. That one was real life. Yeah, sir. That was a Mike Williams play if I ever seen one. So underrated. Absolutely, Hugo. Mike Williams has a YouTube account directed. Did you know that? I'm gonna have to go check. I think I've seen some of the content that he's put out. I definitely need to go make sure that I'm subscribed. Big body Mike Williams. Corner pocket touchdown. Chargers 45-13. This is insane. This is nuts. And again, this is after I've made some adjustments. Yes, with the Madden 23 ratings, there were a few guys that I got to bump up, like Corey Lindsley and a couple other guys, but most of it was bumping down a little bit, right? Because I felt like Justin Herbert would be a 90. They gave him an 88. That sucks, but we put him back down to an 88. Austin Eckler I had as a 90. I think he was also an 88. We took him down to an 88. So most of these players we've been bumping down to match Madden 23, and we're still seeing some crazy results in Sim Series so far. Made a paintball video with the Chargers. I did see that one. I did see the paintball video. Mike Williams, Tyreek Hill, Michael Pittman Jr. are 3 players I'm subbed to on YouTube. That's amazing. Michael Pittman, I'll have to check him out too. If Pipkins is inconsistent by week 7, do we consider trading for a reliable right tackle at trade deadline? I would say the Chargers would at least need to consider, especially if the record looks good. If the Chargers are looking like strong playoff contenders, they're going to have to do something. Look at Trevor Lawrence flipping out. The dude had a panic attack back there. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Nobody's open. Here comes the heat. That's what we're going to see in real life, dudes. I hope they replay that. He was literally like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? That was hysterical. They're not going to replay it. That was hilarious. You guys in the replay, you could definitely replay. You could definitely rewind that. That was hysterical. Trevor Lawrence looking for another target. And guess who got free? It was Joey Bosa forcing a bad pass, and that's going to be incomplete. In the vicinity of Derwin James anyway. Luckily, that wasn't picked off. Watch Mike Williams on Twitch. Yeah, I see him and another content creator really hit it off, which is so cool to see. Crap, his name eludes me. I'm sorry. I still have a little bit of COVID brain. Here comes a pass by Trevor Lawrence. It's going to be picked up this time. Looks like a first down right there for the Jags. Laviska Shenault. Guys, help me out here because he's a solid dude. And they're always hanging out and stuff. Very, very cool. He is it Chargers Diary? Is that his name? Bolt Diary, something like that. Anyway, dude's a solid dude. He Twitch streams like Call of Duty and stuff like that. And him and Mike Williams are good buddies. Here comes Trevor Lawrence trying to run away from the pressure. He's going to slide before making contact with Sante Samuel Jr. 2nd and 4. 6 minutes left to play. We're just looking for that clock to keep ticking down. Dizzy. That's right. Dizzy. Dizzy's a solid dude, man. Him and Mike Williams always having the back and forth. In this game, Herbert has 400 yards, 5 touchdowns. That's wild to me. That's wild to me. Justin Herbert. And there's a lot of drives where he put up yards and they didn't come up with scores, and we're still looking at 45-13. And look at that, man. Another Chargers defender comes in there for a huge play. That's another turnover. J.C. Jackson diving for the interception. Mr. INT is already starting to stack up turnovers for the Chargers in 2022. Let's see number 27's in the chat, man. That was an amazing interception by J.C. Jackson, who I had to bump down. I hate that. J.C. was a 93 in my initial prediction for his overall this season. They made him a 90, so I had to make him a 90 here. He's still making some big plays, but my goodness. That did not go well with me at all. Here comes Austin Eckler again, another huge run. Is he going to score again? Eckler breaking through a tackle. He's going to get tackled out of bounds. Eckler now over 100 yards on the ground. It's like the Jags have given up defensively. 500 yards of offense for the Chargers this game. Look at that. Austin Eckler just wide open field. Eventually pushed out of bounds. Chargers just need to choose some clock at this point. I'm ready to face the Texans. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, all on Twitch. Yeah, I've watched Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler at least. I gotta make sure. I don't watch too much Twitch, not as much as I used to. Injury timeout for the Chargers. Late in this game, Josh Palmer having to step off the field for a second. Looks like he's still in the huddle. I don't know if he's going to be in the actual play here. We should see some Jalen Guyton. This D will cause a lot of turnovers and 3 and outs. That's what I'm saying. That's honestly when looking at last season and seeing what you can do to better improve your record, it was what Brandon Staley did. Exactly what Brandon Staley did. Not just what he did, but how he did it, right? Hand-picking players from the Fangio system to fit his team is nothing short of spectacular. Here comes Eckler again. Another run, 117 yards on the ground. 3 yards or 4 yards in that play. Trying to chew down the clock here, get ready for the Houston Texans. I used to stream, but mentally I couldn't keep going. Yeah, Twitch streaming it's a lot, man. You know, honestly, at some point I would love to start streaming video games again, like Madden and Apex Legends and something Star Wars, obviously. As we have another reception there. There's Jalen Guyton. First reception in a while. He's going to be picking up the first down at the 1 yard line. Chargers may drop a 50-burger on the Jacksonville Jaguars in this one. I would eventually love to start, streaming some video games a little bit more. We have the other channel set up and ready to go as the young ones start growing up a little bit and giving us more time as they go to school. But we'll have to wait and see. I kind of got my fingers in a lot of different projects right now, which has been a lot of fun. If you guys been wondering like what my summer's been looking like, we've been working our tails off on that food truck. As a matter of fact, as of yesterday, we are getting very close to finishing the wrap. I'll show you guys a lot of the stuff of the business my wife and I are raising right now in that food truck. You guys will be able to see what the wrap and everything, the design and everything looks like here very soon. It's been a lot of fun. Here comes Austin Eckler. He's going to punch it in for his second touchdown on the ground. This game is over. This game was over for a while now. The Chargers putting up over 50 points offensively. The Jags just stood no chance in week 3 versus this defense. Where's the taco truck going to be at? It's mainly going to be located in and around Utah, which is where I'm located, right? So we will see, a lot of Chargers, let's say, influence. If I find some Chargers fans out here, of course, we'll have some fun get-togethers and stuff like that. But maybe if we can get the truck, because when we bought it, right, we bought it at a time where food trucks weren't especially expensive. They've since then gone up quite a bit, but it wasn't in the best working order. So it's taken us a while to get it really, to the point where we can start taking it places and moving around. I don't think it'll quite make it to LA yet, but it would be so much fun eventually once we've, started making some money on it, being able to put some resources into really reinforcing the mechanical aspects of the truck. To honestly, if we could get permission to drive up there, SoFi Stadium, in and around, the tailgating area, that would be a good time. Oh yeah, sorry, Eddie. Here we go. It was almost such a sad touchdown for the Jags that we almost missed it. Touchdown, Chargers! Austin Eckler just putting the nose in the piss at this point for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Holy cow, man. Yeah, the Jags just forfeit at this point. 2 minutes left. Just run the ball, kneel it, do what you got to do, go home, man. Jags absolutely buried in this game. Chargers score again, go for 60. That's it. At this point, let's see what the Jags let us do. They might go for it again on like 4th and 20 from their own 10-yard line and give us another opportunity to score again. Lots of time in the pocket. Almost intercepted, this time by Asante Samuel Jr. Trevor Lawrence over almost 250, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Such an ugly game. They should really just run the ball, get out of there. But this is Madden. They don't always follow logic that way. What kind of food will we serve? We got some banging tacos, man. Brazilian lemonade, churros. Still kind of working on the menu a little bit, but like the signature items are probably the churros and tacos. The Brazilian lemonade, too. A lot of people haven't really had good Brazilian lemonade. Almost intercepted again. Almost a second interception for J.C. Jackson. Trevor Lawrence and these Jags, they want, what, 20 points so they can feel better? Nah, man. Look at this. You could have gotten intercepted yet again. J.C. Jackson was going to let that happen. 3rd and 10 coming up. My Instagram is the director _YouTube. Actually, my socials can be found. I don't think I've updated it for this year yet, but @the director _YT. @the director _YT is the socials. Logan, how you been, man? Think our receiver group is okay? Oh, yeah, receiver group is still absolutely fantastic. They're looking awesome. OBJ to the Chargers, your thoughts? I think it would be if OBJ if there's any legitimacy to him coming to the Chargers, it would be in the same way that he joined the Rams last season, right? Where they need a guy, maybe some development happens and they need a guy, and finally OBJ is healthy by that point. The Chargers at that point might be able to snag an OBJ. But between the Derwin James extension, all of the other signings that we've had so far, maybe a potential right tackle signing in the near future, I'm not quite sure if we would have the money, unless OBJ wants to stay in LA and he's taking a cheaper contract, which is also fairly possible as well. Here comes a carry for Isaiah Spiller, and Spiller's going to pick up a nice 10 yards there. Chargers just chewing down the clock now. We're getting ready to face the Houston Texans. Let's see if there's a way I can grab. I gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Excuse me for a second here, guys. If there's one thing that's annoying on YouTube, I have him hidden from the channel. I don't know how he's still commenting. Either way, I don't like those. I don't like those bots, man. Especially those kinds of bots. Isaiah Spiller's going to take another carry, and we're just waiting for the Chargers to chew down the clock. Karen coming in with the $20. Holla, Karen, how you doing? Surprise Sim Saturday episode. Karen coming in, bringing the sunshine with her. Thank you so much, Karen. $20 holla. That means so much. Really appreciate it. She says, my sympathy donation to you, director, in honor of the Jags. Yeah, this is definitely one where you're bringing the people together and saying, hey, man, tough break, dude. Like, we'll all meet at Barney's afterwards and try and, drink away these emotions and try and get our mind focused on next week, because this was a brutal beatdown of Jacksonville here in week 3 of Sim Sundays. Karen, thank you so much for the $20 holla. Always showing big support. I really appreciate all the love there, Karen. Thank you so much. Here comes Morthenian with a $10 holla. He's saying, or SEK 100 holla. He says, didn't know you were online today until now. Can't watch so much right now, but take my money. Morthenian, thank you so much. One of the underrated fantasy players of last season. Me and him having to go head to head for that fantasy title last season. I think we're going to be doing that again this season. I got a lot of stuff I got to prepare for. Right? I got a lot of stuff I got to prepare for. And by the way, Chargers taking the win here. We're so wrapped up in all the love in the chat. We almost missed it. Thank you so much, Morthenian, Karen. You guys have been fantastic. Give me a second here as we prepare ourselves for the next game. As you guys know, we like to do them in twos on the channel here. Makes things a little bit funner, a little bit more interaction. Yeah, Morthenian, yeah, this was the game, right? The Chargers just kind of really ran away with this one. Not much to look at here. Let's take a look real quickly, actually, before we set up the Texans game, at some of the stats here. Herbert, 400 yards, 5 touchdowns. We're just going to look at the Chargers here. Rushing, we had Austin Eckler, 20 on the ground for 116, 2 touchdowns. Receiving, Austin Eckler leading in receptions for 92 yards and a touchdown. So what is that? It's 200 yards and 3 touchdowns for Austin Eckler. Gerald Everett, 142 and 2 touchdowns. He's been insane. Like, if we've been keeping track of these stats, Gerald Everett would be one of the best in the NFL in terms of any receiving position. Mike Williams, 5 for 91 and a tutty. And then Keenan Allen, Josh Palmer getting in there as well. As for defense, take a look at some of the total tackles here. Leading tackler in Drew Tranquil, Kyle Van Noy, Nasir Adderley, Derwin James. Couple tackle for losses all over the place. Derwin, Mack, Nasir, Van Noy. Everybody, dude, kind of got a slice of that pie. And then finally the sacks. Khalil Mack with 2. Austin Johnson with 1. Sante Samuel Jr. with 1. And then Tillery and Van Noy with a half a pop. And then, of course, Chargers logging 2 interceptions this game between Bryce Callahan, J.C. Jackson. And then finally, we did have a forced fumble. You guys remember that? It was Derwin James who also recovered it and returned it for 18 yards. It was an insane outing for this Chargers team who just could not be stopped. So while we're waiting for the next game to be set up, guys, let me know who your game ball is going to in this honestly unbelievable victory for the Chargers. 13-53 is absolutely nuts. So we'll be right back here, guys, in about 2 minutes as we set up this next game. And we're going to log right back in versus the Chargers versus the Houston Texans. This one being played at the Texans Stadium. We'll be right back. Today's video is going to be a little bit different, okay, guys? Because we've got a serious problem. One I know almost each and every one of you struggle with every single year. How do I watch football? I simply want to watch football. Okay, let's Google it. I mean, look at this. Why does it have to be so complicated? NBC Sports, Sunday Ticket, Fox. Of course, I could just sign up for satellite TV for like 70 plus bucks a month. Then I could add a sports package with a hefty price tag of like 300 bucks. Wait, no. There's another option, sports fans. One that I discovered last year. One that guarantees I can watch every game I want without the fear of blackouts or channel surfing. And its name is NFL Game Pass. Right, so you're telling me that there's a service that allows me to watch any game I want with Red Zone, NFL Total Access, condensed replays, and NFL original content like Hard Knocks and even more? This is it. This is the answer. This is what I've been looking for. Oh wait, except for one thing. You can watch all the games you want, but not live. But hang on, let me finish. There's a way around this. Using the NFL Game Pass in combination with this vital tool, a virtual private network, or VPN for short. Okay, I lost some of you guys, I can tell. Just wait. What is a VPN? Well, in layman's terms, it's a legitimate service that allows your internet connection to appear like it's coming from anywhere in the world. You see, certain apps and services are subject to a thing called geo restrictions. By using a VPN, we can bounce our signal from other parts of the world to grant us access to the NFL Game Pass to allow us to watch live games. But director, are we sure this is legit? Quick Google search, completely legal. We did it! Guys, this is the answer. This is what I personally have been using for the last 2 years, and I felt it was finally time to share this method. This is an awesome way to navigate the NFL season, and one that I plan to use for the foreseeable future. And if you're like me and you want the best VPN provider out there, definitely check out ExpressVPN. I've tried a couple out. This is definitely the best one for streaming live NFL games. Now make sure you guys check out the link in the description to get 3 months off of ExpressVPN, and for a full and easy tutorial on how to set up NFL Game Pass using ExpressVPN, check out my tutorial video link in the description as well. Break the shackles of conformity and experience football the way it's supposed to be. It's football season, baby. No blackouts, no restrictions. And we are back. You know what? It's been a minute since I ran that ad, right? Maybe it's time to re-record it now that we've gotten pretty close to the completion of the weight loss journey here, right? Well, might as well get that updated and make sure, you know, Pillsbury Director isn't running around on the ads anymore. That's insanity to me. All right, guys, we are jumping right into the next game here. It's the Chargers at Houston Texans. Thank you again so much to all the supporters on the channel today, members, Hugo, all the mods, as well as Karen, Marthenian, etc., everybody who's come out here supporting the channel via all of your guys' love. I really do appreciate it, man. Here we go. Pillsbury Director. Here we go. Chargers at Houston Texans. This is week 4 on episode 2 of Sim Sunday Saturday edition. And the Chargers, after putting a thumping in back-to-back weeks versus the Kansas City Chiefs and then, of course, the Jacksonville Jaguars, are now facing the Houston Texans, who, in my opinion, may be the worst-ran organization in the NFL. So we'll have to wait and see how this one goes. Hopefully it's not too much of a snore fest. But I think this is a big reason why I wanted to catch up right away, because I knew that this week was probably going to be a little insane. Hopefully the Chargers can put this one away early and get ready for a couple of tougher games versus Cleveland and, of course, the Denver Broncos. First pass for Justin Herbert. He's going to escape the pocket and chuck it away. 2nd and 10 for the Chargers. Get your predictions in now, as well as the announcement for the game ball winner of the last week's game, I think, versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're going to give it to Justin Herbert, who went over 400 yards, 5 touchdowns. Absolutely insane. The runner-up to me was definitely Austin Eckler, who put up over 200 total yards and 3 touchdowns. Very, very nice game for the Chargers offense. Here comes the Chargers offense yet again, with Justin Herbert to Mike Williams, who's going to pick up 11 yards. Pads next week. Hall of Fame game, 2 weeks till preseason. Yeah, we're getting close, man. We are getting very, very close. Logan's his best time to be a Chargers fan since 2007. I would have to agree with you there. This roster, top to bottom, looks very, very impressive. 1st and 10, Justin Herbert's going to hand it off to a very impressive Austin Eckler after a very nice game last week. He's going to pick up a yard there, 2nd and 9 for the Bolts. ASJ is going to have a brilliant season. Yes, he is. He's going to look nice. Him and Bryce Callahan, man, he's got a lot to learn from Bryce Callahan, which is great. Those two can do a lot of the same things. But at the same time, being able to swap back and forth on the outside in the slot with a guy like Bryce, it's going to be a very, very nice season for ASJ. Here comes another carry by Austin Eckler. Picks up a few, and it's going to be a 3rd and 5 for the Bolts. What do we have to worry about on the Texans at this point? They've got some pieces. I feel like they can start digging themselves out a little bit. They got Stingley. They got the offensive lineman, Kenyon Green. They got a couple of nice. They got Brandon Cooks. I think Davis Mills is a bit underrated as Mike Williams picks up another nice first down reception. Other than that, I can't really think of Laramie Tunsil, kind of. The David Johnson experiment or whatever, that trade did not work out. Who was their running back last season? Rex Burkhead, who unfortunately ran all over us. Texans don't have much. We'll have to see how the Chargers come back here in this revenge game at the Houston Texans. But now, yeah, I have no idea. Here comes a screenplay for the Chargers. That gets blown up. Chargers 2nd and 13 coming up. Nice defensive play. I do think they have a couple of nice linebackers, if I do remember right from last season. So they got some pieces. But as a whole, the team has a long way to go. Thank you so much, Hugo, for being on top of that. I don't know how they're still getting through. They're supposed to be removed from the channel. 14 to 42 is going to be the prediction by Kyle. I'm seeing 21 to 38, 34 to 17, 28 to 10. Hopefully the Chargers can definitely put this one away quick. Get that run game very involved this week. See about getting in and out of this one. But at the same time, this is what kind of bit us in the butt last week. Maybe grab a nice lead before getting a little bit cocky. Here comes the Chargers on 3rd and 11. 3rd and 11. Can Mike Williams do it again? Can Gerald Everett become a hero once again? Here comes Justin Herbert tossing it deep on the H-bomb. And that falls harmlessly to the ground after bouncing off the hands of a defender. Chargers are going to be having to punt here. 4th and 11 from midfield, surprisingly enough, giving the ball to the Houston Texans. I've been a moderator, handful of streamers over the years, used to it. Hey, thank you so much, Hugo. You're the man. He's a pro. There's not very many people in the world, I would say, go head-to-head with the doorman himself. Kyle saying the Texans game is one I have highlighted after the embarrassing last year. Chargers need to make up for it in a statement. Absolutely. I think that's definitely... If you are a Chargers fan, imagine what the players are thinking as well. That game had a lot of consequences, it turns out, later on. That game versus the Raiders, it would not have resulted in that if the Chargers could have just put away the Texans like they were supposed to. Kind of insane. 1st and 10 for Davis Mills and the Texans. First attempt is going to be well overthrown. I like Mills. I think Mills could turn out to be a serviceable quarterback for the Texans. Of course, this is Madden. I don't know what his rating is on this roster. I would give him at least a 75, if I'm being honest. Is that fair? I would give him a 75. I think he's very serviceable. 2nd and 10 for the Texans. 5 minutes off the clock already. And it's going to be a handoff to number 2. We'll wait and see who that player is on the field. Did they sign somebody? Is that Mack from the Indianapolis Colts? Do you guys remember his name? I think that is Mack from the Colts, number 2. So we're going to say Mack at this point. Why can't I remember his first name? Help me out, chat. First down carry by the Texans. It's going to be followed up by a very quick shed by Joey Bosa. Mills able to get it off there very quickly, though. And that's going to be number 12 of the Texans. That's Nico Collins. That's right. Nico Collins had a pretty nice season last year, too. Nice rookie season for him in 2021. Picks up a nice reception here for 9 yards. It's Marlon. Yep, absolutely. You guys are right. Marlon Mack. I think that's Marlon Mack. Number 2, their brand new running back. Good to know. Good to know. Here's another carry by Marlon Mack. Mack, he's going to take off, man. Mack so far, the biggest piece of this offense. 2 rushes for 27 yards. And the Chargers defense, they need to stand up, man. If they put away the Jags the way they did, they should be putting the thump on the Texans this week. Marlon Mack, 2 carries, 27 yards. Impressive start for the new Texan. Here comes Davis Mills again at the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Chargers need a sack, turnover, something. And Joey Bosa's going to strip it away and picked up by Khalil Mack. That is a Chargers duo turnover. How many forced fumbles did we see by Joey Bosa last year? And he does it yet again, and then picked up by his teammate Khalil Mack. Chargers got the ball right back, and they're back on offense, baby. What a fumble. Right on cue. The duo of Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa do it again, and the Chargers right back on offense. Mike Williams picks up a nice reception. Chargers at midfield are going to give it another shot on first down. There we go, 52-97 in the chat. There's another pass to the flat. Austin Eckler. Texans doing a good job at wrapping him up this week. Austin Eckler always finds a way, putting up something every single game. Richie Lloyd, what's up, dude? Chargers absolutely buried the Jacksonville Jaguars last game, 52-13. And now we're looking at our next game versus the Houston Texans. It's Gerald Everett who's going to pick up a nice reception. Should be a first down or close to it. 3rd and inches. Might we see another Xander Horvath sighting, who did get a nice number of carries last game? We are 3-0 so far. 3-0. Chargers defense, big credit to that. The offense absolutely stomped on Jags last week. Chargers and Justin Herbert's going to pass to Donald Parham. Parham, his first reception in a couple of weeks there. He's going to pick up a nice first down. Chargers at the 30-yard line. We need to get some touchdowns on the board quick. I'd like to see the Chargers put this one away. But at the same time, that mentality of last game, of like, let's just step on their throats, 52-13, that's what I would love to see in this game. Just because of what happened last season. There goes Austin Eckler, another carry. He'll pick up about 3 or 4. That's a 2nd and 6 for the Bolts. Yes, Marlon Mack, so far the most productive member of the Houston Texans on offense. That'll be one the Chargers need to get in and slow down. So Joe Burrow, I don't know if you guys heard about this. We were praising him a couple of hours ago. Looks like he's going to be dealing with an injury as Austin Eckler picks up a nice reception for a first down. Chargers it down at the 12. Do you guys know when Joe Burrow is going to be back? It says that he may not be playing in the early portion of the season. That would be a shame. Would love to see Joe Burrow come back with a nicer offensive line. Interesting. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. Chargers offense doing good so far. Justin Herbert looking for an open target. He's going to pass a little bit too low. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Looks like he was looking for his running backs. 2nd and 10 for the Chargers. Touchdown here would be fantastic. At this point of the field, I'm looking for Williams. I'm looking for Everett. You can give me a Keenan Allen. You can give me an Austin Eckler. I would be looking for Keenan Allen at this point, I think. Keenan Allen would be nice. It's going to be a carry, though, by Austin Eckler. And Eckler with a nice block by Xander Horvath. Carries it all the way down to the 4-yard line. Chargers 2 yards from first down. 4 yards from hitting pay dirt. Would love to see a touchdown here at the 4-yard line. You can almost expect the Chargers to line up to run it again. No, I was wrong. It's going to be a passing attempt by Justin Herbert. Do not throw another pick this week, Herbert. There has been quite a bit of picks, though. We have to say that. Herbert over the middle of the field, and it is over the head of Keenan Allen. Oh, it's a 4th and 2. Chargers have been very Chargers-like so far this sim, though. We could definitely see them going for it in 4th and 2 here. But a field goal, definitely not a bad idea either. They are going for it. Chargers are very Chargers in this sim. Chargers on 4th and 2 are going for it. Could it be a handoff? No, it's going to be a pass. Justin Herbert has some time. He's looking, scrambling. He's going to toss to the back of the end zone to Gerald Everett. It is another interception. Justin Herbert struggling at that point in the field in these sims. Of course, we had to bump everything down a little bit due to the Madden 23 ratings. But it's going to be thrown right back to the Chargers. J.C. Jackson, Mr. INT, is going to make up for it. And that is a Chargers touchdown. Chargers walk away with points anyway via Mr. INT. contorting his body to cradle that ball that just slipped through the fingers of that wide receiver, and the Chargers walk away with 6 anyway. Mr. INT does it again, and you know what? In training camp so far, he has been just as advertised in coverage. Could we see the best Chargers DB, let's say at the cornerback position, that we've seen since Cromartie? We'll have to wait and see, man. Maybe Casey Hayward too, right, in his heyday. This has been insane start for J.C. Jackson so far. Wowzers. Yeah, he says, oh, no, you don't, man. We're getting that touchdown for Herb. And they're going to be able to kick it away for more points. That was insane, man. What a turn of events. Instantly, back-to-back picks, and the Chargers turn it into a touchdown for Mr. J.C. Jackson. I love it, man. We'll be right back. Chargers defense doing Chargers defense stuff so far. And again, this is after I had to bump J.C. Jackson down from a 93 to a 90, which kind of hurt my soul a little bit. Here comes a pass to the flat to Marlon Mack. Mack will pick up a couple yards, maybe 1 yard there. 2nd and 9. Can the Chargers defense make another big play? We're almost down to the later portion of the first quarter. And that defense has been so good in this Sim series so far. Pick 6 against the Raiders a few years back from Jason Verrett. Feels like it was just yesterday. Jason Verrett. Such a shame that didn't work out. He had huge potential. Chargers throwing a lot of heat. It looks like Nico Collins able to get in there for the reception and the first down. Look at that. Derwin James almost getting in there for the pass breakup / sack. It's going to be a 1st and 10. Why did you bump them down? Because the Madden 23 official ratings just came out, and I would like to match them if I can. Of course, when Madden 23 does come out, we'll be updating to that game and continuing the series on in there. I'm aiming for this series, 2 games an episode, to conclude the week before the Chargers take the field in the regular season. But that's why we had to bump them down a little bit. I put the ratings in myself as to where I felt they were appropriate. I had Justin Herbert at a 90. I had J.C. Jackson at a 93. Austin Eckler at a 90. And unfortunately, a lot of them, I feel like, again, the Chargers kind of get ripped off sometimes. I feel like with 20 touchdowns, Eckler should have been at least a 90. As Sebastian Joseph Day goes down with injury, hopefully he returns soon. I felt that Justin Herbert more than deserved at least a 90, but they gave both of them an 88. I did get to bump up a couple of players, though. Corey Linsley, I had it at 90. We could bump him up. That was kind of all over the place, too, right? So we got the ratings close to where they're supposed to be for Madden 23. But we'll have to wait and see how that performs in Madden 23 when it comes out, too. Our game's still $60 new. Yeah, they are, man. But I've been a big Madden fan for a while. Here comes 3rd and 7 for the Texans in the area of a receiver who could have come up with a first down. Instead, the Chargers do force a 4th down, which should give the ball right back to Justin Herbert. You know, I actually get a question a lot about Justin Herbert and his ability to repeat his performance from last season in terms of stats, right? And a lot of it has to do with the defense is so good, Justin's not going to have to put up as many yards and points. But my argument against that, like we're seeing in the Sim series, has been that Herbert's just going to flat out get a lot more opportunities. With these stops, with these turnovers, it's going to balance it out in some ways, right? And so far, we've seen some really big games by Justin Herbert. Sure, he's got to clean up the interceptions. I think he's up to like 3 or 4 now, and we're just into week 4 of the season. We can't average an interception per game, but he has had a lot more opportunities to get his hands on the football on offense. There goes Austin Eckler. Nice second effort, pushes forward for 7 yards. And the Chargers offense is back and rolling. 2nd and 3 coming up. Remember sitting outside of GameStop to get the latest Madden or Call of Duty in the day. Now I'm on PC games I order online. I kind of miss that. I think everybody kind of misses the nostalgia of like GameStop, Blockbuster. I do kind of miss it too. But yeah, it's definitely a lot easier just to grab it online nowadays. Here's Mike Williams, who's going to pick it up from the flat. Big first down. Nice yards for Mike Williams so far. 75 yards and a pick for Justin Herbert so far, but Mike Williams getting close to 50. Rack up the score if they can. Yeah, I want to crush the Texans. You know, I wanted to win versus Jacksonville. They ended up crushing them, but I want to crush the Texans. Herbert is going to break more records. He is. Because, again, you know, Justin hasn't even reached his ceiling yet. You know, and that's insane. The dude threw for 5,000 yards, 38 touchdowns last season. He can clean up the picks a little bit. I think he was just under QB rating of 100 because of those interceptions. But that just means he hasn't met his ceiling yet, which is wild to think about with how good he is so far. Speaking of which, he's going to hit Keenan Allen, who's going to pick up a first down, maybe close to it, second in inches. This Chargers offense is in good hands for a long, long time. How lucky are we? I say this all the time because it's so true. How lucky are we to go from Phillip Rivers, future Hall of Famer, immediately to Justin Herbert? And before that, we had Drew Brees. This team hasn't had to worry about quarterback for a very, very long time. As Austin Eckler's going to rip through a couple defenders to pick up that first down, and we are into the second quarter. Yeah, I think he's got as good a shot as anybody to make MVP this season. Hugely, hugely. Justin Herbert, again, him and Joe Burrow are going to be the dudes for a while, right? We heard about, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady for the longest time. It's going to be Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert for the longest time. We are so lucky as Chargers fans. Here comes Gerald Everett. Another reception here. 2nd and 4 coming up. Gerald Everett's been very nice. Maybe a little bit quiet so far in the first quarter. He seems to always be a little quiet and then blow up for a huge play. But 2nd and 4 for the Chargers. Would like to add to that lead just a little bit if they can. If Burrow can stay healthy or alive. Yeah, already, man, it sounds like he's going to be missing some time this season, which is unfortunate. Again, I love Joe Burrow. I will admit that any day. There's Josh Palmer picking up a first down there on 2nd and 4. Nice play there. 38-yard line up and coming. When is the new season of The Mandalorian coming out? Love these questions, man. I think it's like early 2023, like January, February. I think that's when it's coming out. But you know what, guys? We got Andor coming up in like a few weeks now, right? I don't know if anybody here likes The Bad Batch. And it's been leaked that the Book of Boba Fett may be getting a second season at the end of this year. That'd be wild. I would love to see that. Gerald Everett picks up another reception. He's starting to heat up a little bit. Picks up 7 yards, close to a first down there. 3 yards to convert. I would love to see another Book of Boba. You know what I'm doing right now, guys? Why am I telling you guys this? It's so nerdy. It's so nerdy. But you know how I told you guys I have my fingers in several different projects right now? Mainly being, there's Austin Eckler for the first down. Mainly being this channel. And there's a flag on the play. Is it holding? It is holding against Keenan Allen. That's going to give us a 2nd and 7. 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8 right here. 2nd and 8 for the Chargers coming up. Priorities mainly being the channel and the food truck, right? Because those are my commitments. On the side, though, this is so nerdy. I have been building a film-accurate Book of Boba Fett suit of armor. And it's coming together pretty nice, man. So maybe, I don't know. There's almost a reception there to Austin Eckler. It's going to be a 3rd and 8 coming up, but a kind of a sketchy call right there. But I don't know. I will definitely show you guys when it's done. But, man, this thing has been in the works for so long. And I'm so excited to finally be nearing the end of it. Yeah, I'm very stoked, dude. I'm very stoked for people to see that. Justin Herbert on 3rd and 8 looking for a target. He might have a man in the flat. He's going to go to him, and that's going to be Keenan Allen, but it's going to be just short. I should say a good portion short there. 4th and 6. Chargers should be going for the field goal here, though. Jonah Leituela. He's coming in with the Dala Hala. Thank you so much, New Zealand Dala Hala. What's going on, baby? Kia ora. Thank you so much for the support there, my man. We'll be looking for your next comment. Thank you so much, Johan. Appreciate the love. You see the next batch of MCU movies coming out? Absolutely. That field goal by Dustin Hopkins is going to be good. Chargers do take a 2-possession lead at this point. with 10 minutes left to play in the second quarter. Or I couldn't get that number 1 pick in 98. Could have had Peyton Manning. Yeah, that's insane. We could have avoided that whole narrative with Ryan Leaf. Oof. Autograph photo of Django Fett from episodes 1 through 3 in your locker room or in your room. No shame, no nerd thing here, big dog. Absolutely, dude. That's awesome, dude. Tamar Morrison, dude's my man. Dude's my man, dude. I love Tamar. I thought he did such a good job in Book of Boba. Of course, in the prequels, he's great, man. I'm a huge Star Wars nut. Huge Star Wars nut. Of course, I got the Stormtrooper armor. I built that when I was 15, 16, somewhere in that age realm. And I trooped at the 501st. I got so much Star Wars memorabilia. I go to the Comic-Cons, all the whole 9 yards. I'm a big dork. I'm a big dork. And I actually used to troop with the 501st as Boba Fett. And then I had different things that I wanted to do. I was working in the film industry, so I ended up parting with the armor. And that still to this day is one of my biggest regrets. So about a year ago, I told myself that I want to be Boba again, right? Maybe over a year ago. It's been a while. And at some point, I told myself, if I'm going to do this, I need to represent the character appropriately. So one of my motivations to get in shape and lose all this weight was that so I can come back as Boba Fett. How nerdy is that, right? The motivation is so nerdy. Chargers, after putting up 3, are going to give it back to the Texans, who are going to hit, I think that's Nico again, right? In the flat. That'll be a pickup of about 8. If we had Peyton, then we wouldn't have gotten Breeze and Rivers. That's kind of true. Maybe we don't get Breeze eventually leading to Phillip Rivers. That's also true. And in that same draft with Breeze, right? LaDainian Tomlinson, like, things got to kind of work out the way they do. Did COVID stop you from going last week? Yeah. Last week I wanted to do this desperately. I was starting to feel a little better last Sunday, but I just didn't think I was ready for a 3-hour stream. I was like, dude, because I was still feeling that fatigue, a little bit of headaches. I was like, we'll just wait until you feel closer to 100%. Right now, I would say I feel like 95%. Like every once in a while, I still get like a little, but it was certainly really bad for about a week, and then it's gotten a lot better. Matter of fact, yesterday was the first day where I felt like I could leave my house, which was pretty good. Drew coming in here with the $2 hot says Herbert has the most bets to be MVP. Let's go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Herbert with this defense, you got to get that win column up a little bit in order to get recognized by the voters. And then after that, his performance should be pretty great, man. Pretty great. It's going to give him as good a shot as anybody. Here comes a sack by Khalil Mack, who logged 2 last week, and that puts the Texans in some hot water. 3rd and 18 coming up. Look at that. Right through. I think it's not Laramie Tunsil on the right side, right? Either way, Khalil Mack getting in there, forcing another big play on defense, and the Chargers defense looking so good through the first 3 weeks now 4 weeks. Here comes Davis Mills. He's going to throw a bad ball in under pressure, and it's Asante Samuel Jr. who takes it all the way to the house, and that's a Chargers touchdown. The Bolts' 2 touchdown scores this week have been courtesy of this lethal defensive back group. 1 for JC, 1 for Asante, and the Bolts take a 3-possession lead. Get out of town, Bolts. Oh my goodness. Let's freaking go. ASJ 26 is in the chat. I'm seeing him, man. 2 pick sixes in this game for the Chargers defense. A sack by Khalil Mack. This team has been on top of it this week. Wow. Defense is out here outscoring the offense. That's absolutely insane. I love you guys so much, man. Rich said, no, nothing wrong being a Star Wars fan. Hugo said, nothing wrong being a nerd. You're going to be good with technology, computers, electronics. Star Wars is the biggest reason why I went into film to begin with. And that's where I picked up all the skills that I would eventually need to have a high-quality YouTube channel to support also my passion with the Chargers. Everything happens the way it needs to happen, right? I've worked in film for a long time. And it definitely led to being able to accurately and appropriately display the emotions that I get watching Chargers football. That hype needs to be there with the quality that carries it. Yeah, dude, ball hawking skills by this Chargers defensive backcourt. But you have to also remember, that was in conjunction with Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa tearing through that offensive line. It caused the quarterback to panic, and that's the formula. That's what Coach Staley wants to see happen. Speaking of which, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack getting in there again, forcing yet another, maybe we'll say an accurate pass, a little too close to the sideline. Nico Collins got his hands on it, but incomplete. This is the recipe. Lethal pass rush, sticky coverage, leads to more sacks, more interceptions. And in this case, 2 defensive touchdowns. This might be the best Chargers defense ever. It could be. It could be. There's a lot of really good Chargers defenses through the years, but this is definitely in contention for that. There we saw Van Noy coming off the edge, thrown to the sideline, and once again, J.C. Jackson makes another play, another pass defended. He's been so good this season in Sim Sundays. Getting ahead of his defender. Wide receiver had to turn into a cornerback and stopped it from being another pick for JC this game. 3rd and 10 coming up. Off subject, but how do you deal with COVID? I feel horrible. Oh, Miguel, I am so sorry to hear that. That is definitely not fun. And look at that. Almost another interception for JC. Another pass breakup. And the Chargers should be getting the ball back here after forcing a 4th and 10. Now, it's difficult to talk about because I would say COVID hits people very differently, right? And I've had COVID a couple of times now. The time before this, it was very flu-like, right? Very flu-like, and I ended up losing my taste and my smell, which was probably the worst part of it all. I was so upset because life is very strange without taste and smell. This time around, it may be because it's a different version, or maybe because, since then I had the vaccination, and that's supposed to make things a little bit easier, or whatever. It was pretty uncomfortable, but it wasn't as bad as the first time. And what I experienced was a whole lot of fatigue, nausea, which I'm hoping wasn't related, and headaches, pretty bad headaches. But the fatigue was probably the biggest thing that I had to deal with. And all I can tell you, man, is get some NyQuil. Look at that. Almost another interception for Justin Herbert. He's got to be a little bit more careful. Double coverage right there. That powerful NyQuil, right, that helps you sleep at night because you will be tossing and turning a lot. The discomfort, the fever too, by the way, fever. So some stuff is from a flu as well. Stay in bed as much as you can, right? I actually set myself up in my bedroom. I have the Xbox that we're doing this on right now. This is specifically for my studio. So I went to my studio and I grabbed my Xbox. I put it in my room because the boredom, I remember, being probably the biggest thing that drove me crazy the first time. So having an Xbox up there, some shows. I had a little compartment next to my bed with drawers and stuff that had my medicines, pain relievers, just things to kind of keep me comfortable and just stay put. That's all I can really tell you. Just try to make yourself as comfortable as possible while you ride it out. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's definitely not fun. Definitely not fun. Airborne is good to take with COVID. Yeah, I took the Airborne gummies too. I think the things I had were Tylenol, Airborne gummies, NyQuil, obviously tissues and sore throat. What are they called? The little candies for sore throats. We had those too. Cough drops. Just kind of tried to stay put, not move as much. Because I felt that if I didn't move too much, the headaches and the fatigue, it didn't feel as bad. But the moment I stood up, I would see stars. So I hope that you get a speedy recovery out of this, man. That's definitely not fun. Definitely not fun. 3rd and 2 coming up for the Chargers after a nice reception by Keenan Allen. Chargers up 17-0, mainly courtesy of their defense. Would love to see some big plays by the offense here as well. Who's in the slot right now? Keenan Allen in the slot. He's got his X Factor activated. Maybe we could see a big play to him. Justin Herbert looking. He's going to fire middle of the field. That's going to be the tight end, Gerald Everett, who picks up another first down. 5 minutes left to play in the first half. And the Chargers got themselves a nice lead, trying to add on top of it again. Very similar narrative to the Jacksonville Jaguar games we just saw about a couple hours ago. Any concern basically with the same offensive defense personnel? The league will figure us out. I think there's more benefits to that than there are consequences, negative consequences. Here comes Justin Herbert passing way deep up the middle of the field. Once again, Josh Palmer was the target, but it goes through the back of the end zone and incomplete. Again, the positive consequences outweigh the negative consequences because this is the first time in Justin Herbert's career that he's going to have back-to-back offensive coordinator that's the same. Every single year, he's had to relearn things and readjust. This might actually be a huge contributing factor to whether or not Justin Herbert has an MVP season. As Austin Eckler gets taken down right away, Chargers 3rd and 11. Offense is taking a minute to kind of catch up in this game. But I think what's more detrimental to the Chargers is people better understanding and taking seriously Justin Herbert and finding ways to slow him down. Because we've done that with guys like Patrick Mahomes. We've found ways to try and slow him down. But either way, the Chargers all over. By the way, first down, Josh Palmer, 1st and 10 for the Chargers. The Chargers at every corner and in every aspect of this roster have gotten better. The offense has remained the same because of the retention of Mike Williams. The offensive line has gotten better because of Zion Johnson. Hopefully, Trey Pipkins can really step in and take that right tackle position. But that unit looks better. Then obviously the defense, for very many reasons, looks so much better as well. So I think the Chargers, there could be grounds to say that people are more ready to face us. I also think they're way less ready because of the assembly of talent that they've garnered in 2022. Yeah, the cough drops for sure. How long did it last for you? Like, when did you see relief after getting sick? I would say I started showing signs Monday of that week. I started feeling tired. I remember coming down to my studio and kind of passing out. I fell asleep on this chair for like 2 hours, and I never do that, right? And I went upstairs and stayed awake for a couple of hours, and I fell right back asleep. And then the next day, I really started to feel it. So that was Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. I would say about 8 days. I was kind of down and out. 8 days, and then it kind of started to tamper off after the 8th day, and I started feeling a lot better. And then now I feel perfectly fine. Every once in a while I feel a little like hazy, but I'm good. I'm good now. So I'd say about a week. I would say maybe a little over a week is how long I was down. Here goes Justin Herbert. Justin's going to take it in himself. Almost. Runs it in for a touchdown. He rushes for 2 yards. Just didn't quite commit. Didn't quite commit to lowering his shoulder and trying to use that 6'6" frame just to fall right into the end zone. 1:38 left to play. Chargers 3 yards to score. Did you ever watch the movie Fanboys? Dude, I love Fanboys. Me and my buddies used to watch that all the time. Up the middle, it's going to be Justin Herbert to Keenan Allen. That's a Chargers touchdown. The Chargers adding to their lead yet again. 4-score lead, and Mike Williams, the red zone beast, just adds to the score yet again. Let's go, baby. Chargers looking very nice in this one. The revenge game looking very, very good in the first half. So, yes, I would say about a week. And, yes, I love Fanboys, dude. I've seen that movie at least like 20 times. I would watch it all the time in high school. Very fun movie. If you're a fan of, like, the genre of, like, American Pie and that kind of stuff, it's not quite as crude, I like it all, but it carries that same formula with a group of like Star Wars fans. It's so funny. That guy that ended up going to the Fantastic Beasts franchise, you know, the Harry Potter movies, the prequels or whatever, he's hilarious in those movies. I absolutely love it. $5 holla coming in from Miguel. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, brother. I was supposed to go see them practice, but this helps a lot. Any Chargers talk helps. I can't wait for the season to start, man. I hope you feel better soon, man. Again, it was not fun for me. I know it's not fun for everybody, and it lasts differently in different people, different symptoms, different lengths, different side effects. It's not fun, and that's, again, it creeps up on you too. Like, you never know. You can get it from any Joe Schmo and have it for a while before you start feeling anything. So I do sympathize, man. I hope you feel better very soon. Thank you for the $5 hollow, man. I appreciate you. Get well soon. But don't get sick. I'm not vaccinated. It's not for clear reason. I just don't like needles. I feel you do, Hugo. I feel you. Again, I am vaccinated, and I got it. I got it anyway. And again, it was less uncomfortable than it was last time, but it certainly wasn't pleasant. Who's the most underrated player on our team in terms of production? I think it's Jalen Guyton takes a big step forward, rivaling Boyd for the best wide receiver 3 in the league. I think Guyton is definitely in the conversation. I really hope that it turns out to be Gerald Everett, because his skill set is so unique, and different from other players. Wow, dude. Nasir Adderley almost added another interception to this game. The Texans got to play it a little bit careful. But I would hope it's Gerald Everett. I think Gerald Everett has been misused in his previous teams. I feel he's definitely a vertical threat, whereas a lot of people were hoping for more of a blocking tight end. That's not where Gerald Everett is. And he's finally on a team where he really fits. And on top of that, once he gets the ball, dude, that dude goes off, man. He just busts through contact almost every single time. So I'm very excited to see how he does. Lexus with the strong immune system. Yeah, man. I was of the same opinion. I got to tell you that. Like, before I got it the first time, like, I rarely got sick. Like, I'm one of those dudes, very strong immune system, too. I don't know why, but I just never really got sick. And the first time I got hit, dude, I went down hard, man. That was one of the most miserable couple weeks of my life. Oh, so bad. Chargers, nice stop on 4th down. Are going to get the ball back with a minute left. Can the Chargers maybe add 3 to this score? Honestly, with a 24-point lead, you can do it. It wouldn't be a bad idea to just run and get in the tunnel either. Stay inside here. I'm fine. Yeah, I feel you. I'm such an introvert as well. Like, I work a lot, but most of my projects are just at home. You know what I mean? Like, my channel is set up in a studio that I built in my home. That's where I work. Most of my research and stuff are just done at home. The Boba Fett thing done here. Gerald Everett, by the way, huge big play there. Takes a big hit. But my goodness, Gerald Everett, we've been waiting for a big play from him. The Boba Fett armor was done at home for the most part. I got this nice little work area outside. Like, I can do that here. The food truck, even, it's in my driveway. All the backbreaking work we've been doing on that, just here, And I think that's as a result of us as a people, right? Kind of finding, I don't know, just this mental change because of 2020 that makes us feel like staying home is more responsible. And I really am trying to move away from that as much as possible. Just get out more. I've been doing good at going out and doing stuff like that, but I feel like before 2020 I was kind of a social bird or whatever, and after 2020 I've been so introverted. So yeah, it left its scars, right? It definitely left its scars. I hope everybody has a opportunity to break out of that, as we got ourselves a nice reception to Keenan Allen, who's inside the 5. Chargers with 30 seconds left could go up 31-0 in the first half. This could be more brutal than the Jags game. Wow. Exactly. Live your lives. Yeah, absolutely. Live your lives. Do what you want to do. Have fun. But it's not that I'm in no ways unhappy. I'm generally a pretty upbeat dude. You know what I mean? I'm pretty happy. I have a lot of fun even at home with my kids. I love having the opportunity to work from home, spend time with my kids. We're always hanging out and doing stuff, goofing off, and still working hard on other hobbies and stuff like that. But I have maybe subconsciously created an environment where I can do all of this within the safety of my home. You know what I mean? Which is kind of insane. By the way, worst timing for a controller disco. We got Gerald Everett, who's been a little quiet the first half. That's a Chargers touchdown within the last few seconds of the first half, putting the Chargers up an insane amount of points. Texans have not even scratched the surface of scoring in the first half, and the Bolts may have put this one away with that score from number 7. Wow, dudes, this defense has just... and we kind of expected this on episode 2 of Sim Sundays, right? We knew the teams that we would be facing up against, but this is an absolute murder site that we're seeing so far. Kind of crazy. Yeah, we're not going to go political at all with this. I'm talking more in terms of the human experience, right? Like, humans, we're all different, but I do think we're all suspect to, subconscious mental damage when it comes to things of that nature, of that size. You got to take that seriously, And during the pandemic, I was... I'll be honest, I was terrified, not for myself, but, at that time, my mother was going through cancer treatment, and she was, I come from a single parent home, so her and my brother are all I really have. And it was so tough. It was so scary. And, it was already scary even before the pandemic because of all, the experiences of going through that. And you just never knew. And so like I just switch flipped on my head, and I took it very seriously. And then even past my own personal and immediate effects of my life, like I felt like if I do something that, you know, even if I don't know the end result is this, if I decide to go out and do something, you know, when I'm contagious, or maybe I don't even know I'm contagious, then it might result in somebody else's mama who's going through something like that, you know, being lost. I didn't want to feel the weight of that. So I just, in my brain, I took on so much change in 2020 that, you know, since the time has passed and things have gotten better, it's more about healing now, you know, healing mentally even. And I do hope to get back to being more social, and I have, you know, I'm setting things up to do more things. But it really is kind of crazy when you step back and you look at it and you're like, wow, just the psychological effect, you could even call damage, of that year is still being felt today, which is nuts. Most of the weight that you guys see that I put on in the commercial was through 2020. It's crazy, you know, that kind of stuff. Just it hammers you down. You're looking for comfort. So yeah, crazy. I hope everybody out there, man, is doing better. Genuinely, it was tough to live through something like that. Was tough, even if it wasn't like a huge deal to some people. You know, it maybe didn't touch your lives in a way. Mentally, I feel subconsciously, at least, it can do stuff like that. Anyway, back to football. It's kind of crazy. You guys are so easy to talk to, right? So easy to talk to. If I were out here, I'd be getting your guys' numbers. It's a good community we got out here. 1st and 10, Chargers on defense are just going to start things off with a Joey Bosa dominating helmet in the mud sack on Davis Mills. And the defense just picked up right where they left off. Big plays everywhere. Can't control that stuff no matter how much you think you stay home to. Yeah. I feel you. Chat overall is awesome. Bots keep busy. Yeah, I feel you there too. Here comes a reception for the Texans. They're going to get some yards back, but it's still going to be a 3rd and 11. 3rd and 11. Yeah, back to football. I appreciate you guys lending me your ears too on stuff like that, because sometimes, you know, it's in the end, like, we're all Chargers fans, but we're human beings. You know, we're human beings, different interests, different things, and it's great to get to know a community like that on another level. Speaking of another level, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, now what? Logging a sack and a half each. That's great. I want to see that so bad in real life, and it's crazy because, like, how far off from reality really is this simulation for Mack and Bosa? Like, who's got the offensive line that can begin to slow something like that down? That is wild. Wow. Insane. I cannot wait to see that in in real life as well. Going to the beach, hiking Center, San Diego. Oh, yeah. No, I feel you. I used to be here comes a run by Austin Eckler, by the way. I used to be kind of a concert head. I probably in my teens up until my mid-20s, like, went to 200-300 concerts. That's like all I did was go to concerts. That was like one of my favorite things to do. I loved cruising too, just getting in my Jeep. I had a Wrangler, like my favorite thing in the world, and just drive, you know, and end up somewhere and just hang out and pick up my buddies, and just lots of hanging out at, I guess you could call them parties or whatever, just getting your buddies together, going to somebody's house and just chilling, having fun. Like, that's just kind of like, that was the experiences I really cherished from before all that. And yeah, it's crazy how things change a little bit. And it's just beyond that too. Like, I had kids, family, and all that kind of, my friends had kids. Like, it's just the way life goes. But it's crazy. I love just watching how things unfold. Justin Herbert, 3rd and 7. He's going to barely get rid of it. And that's going to be a Chargers 4th down. They can punt it away. I honestly, if I could change one thing about these sims, is more of a clock-minded game script. You know what I mean? Because at this point, if I'm walking in to the second half up 31-0, I am handing that ball off to Xander, to Isaiah, to even Austin Eckler 2 out of 3 plays, right? Even if you don't get the first down, those guys are talented enough to carry you down the field maybe for a field goal. I hope that in Madden 23, the logic is a little bit better, that they can start carrying that kind of, realism into even simulations. Because those simulations in turn are like, on head-to-head or whatever you're playing, actually in the game. You want to see that realism too, not just in Sims. I hope they fix that in Madden 23. First carry here for Marlon Mack. He's going to pick up a nice chunk. He's closing in on 50 yards, but I don't know how much that's going to help the Texans at this point, who are down so many. Staley we trust. Yeah, and Staley we trust. You don't like Sean Payton for the Chargers, already committed to Staley? Yeah, we were talking about that not too long ago as well, and I do feel like my loyalty is very firmly with Brandon Staley at this point. I think we are on the brink of discovering another Sean Payton-like entity in the NFL. And to give up on that for someone more like Sean Payton, you could bundle him in with like an Andy Reid, Bill Belichick a little bit. I don't know if I would do that. I think I'm very impressed with what Brandon Staley's done in just the first couple of years. I want to see if he has the potential to carry us all the way. So we'll see. But I'm definitely in the side of Brandon Staley pretty firmly. We've seen Marlon Mack pop off a couple big plays. It's fortunately for us chewing a little bit of clock. See, the Chargers are doing what the Texans should be doing, and the Texans are doing what the Chargers should be doing. So I don't know what the game logic here is, but it doesn't match up too well. And then you know what? Yeah, there it is again, man. Is that Mr. INT? That's 2 interceptions and a touchdown for J.C. Jackson. 27's in the chat, baby. Look at this guy. Diving catch. Thrown too far. And JC is there for it's just wow. They bury him, Chargers. How many turnovers this game so far for the Chargers defense? We didn't log very many last season at all. And here they are, JC with 2 interceptions and a touchdown. Asante with 1 interception and a touchdown. Mr. INT has arrived. I think he had a couple over the first couple of weeks too, but my goodness, is he popping off in this one. Wow. Step on their throat, yeah. Reed had a heart attack when we beat them, yeah. Here comes a nice reception to Mike Williams. Chargers through the air, a bit quieter this week, but you know what? 250 and 2 touchdowns is still very impressive. It's still most of the second half to go. I don't even know, man. These standards are getting a little bit too high. Next week versus, or I should say even tomorrow, because we are coming back tomorrow with episode 3 of Sim Sundays. Should feature a little bit more of a difficult opponent with the Cleveland Browns, who, be it they will not have Deshaun Watson, should have a very nice running attack, which is going to be a big test for the Chargers on the ground. Yeah, we whooped the Jags so hard, dudes. We whooped the Jags so hard. And I hope somebody out there is making a roster, like updating all of the rankings of all the players from the Madden 23 archive. I will be doing the Chargers, obviously, but who knows, man? Who knows what the Browns are going to look like tomorrow without Deshaun Watson and Baker Mayfield. That's crazy. Who's their quarterback going to be? That's a legitimate question, guys. Is it the guy that was oh my goodness, what was his name? The first round pick that ended up being a bust. Help me out here with that. Is it really going to be him? Oof, Josh Rosen, that's right. Is it really going to be him? I don't know. Beautiful pass. Floated to the sideline to Keenan Allen on 3rd down. And that's another first down for the Chargers. Inching closer to the red zone. Look at that pass, man. Beautiful touch. Beautiful reception by Keenan to get his feet in. And the Chargers drive remains alive. That's disgusting. It's going to be Brissett, Jacoby Brissett. What are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah, here comes another reception by Keenan. Picks up another 5. Chargers now in the red zone. I don't know how that game's going to look, man. I hope the Browns, because their defense is still very good. Their running attack is still very good. And I know that they made that foolish decision in light of trying to get their passing attack to match what they can do on the ground, which would have been very good. I just still don't agree with the decision. But we'll see how they do. Isaiah Spiller getting a nice carry here. Spiller's going to push forward for 7 yards in a first down. 13 yards to score. Not looking too bad here. Chargers could add another touchdown. Again, keep pounding it on the ground, man. I want to see more Isaiah Spiller. I would love to see Isaiah Spiller or Xander Horvath grab a touchdown on the ground here. Even Austin Eckler. Give us a rushing touchdown. Don't let up on the ground quite yet. Here comes Justin Herbert up the middle. That's Mike Williams yet again. And Mike Williams picks up another couple of yards. Chargers 2nd and 4, 6 yards to score. Go ahead and hand it off, baby. Go ahead and hand it off. What time is tomorrow's stream? I haven't quite decided yet. I think it might be noon Pacific, but I will update you guys as I figure it out because I'm actually not done today. I wanted to get on stream. Look at that, dude. Another touchdown. And it was through the air again. It's still Austin Eckler, but it's through the air. That is a touchdown! Chargers. Houston Texans did not stand a chance. I'm glad we did this one today because I kind of knew this might be what would happen. I want to see more games that are a little bit closer, a little more fun with it, but in real life, these teams are going to have a handful trying to contain the Chargers defense for the most part, and it's leading to some pretty obscure scores all around. Anyway, I am not done today. After this stream, I have more work to do on the truck, so I will be out there in the blazing heat laying down that wrap. Dudes, if you guys, I've told you this before, putting a vinyl on anything is tough because you have to be so precise and know what you're doing. Putting it on a box truck, a food truck, is one of the toughest things I have ever done. We have been doing this, I don't know, I think we're like a week in and we're just over halfway done and we have some of the toughest parts still up to come, and I'm just so intimidated by the whole thing, but we're getting close. We're getting very close. It's really cool seeing it finally take shape, like the design. I actually designed the truck too. The print turned out great. The application's doing okay. It's just so slow. Holy cow. So right after this, we got more work to do. How hot is it out there? It's about 100 degrees or close to it every day. It's been really hot. I actually, the last 2 days in a row that I've been out there working on the truck, I have thrown up at some point. It's been so hot. And I'm staying hydrated. I understand the importance of that. I'm glugging water, you know, like it's going out of business, like it's drying up. And I got so sick because I was in the sun too long. Here comes another carry by the Texans. We have 4 minutes left in the third, and we're waiting to see if the Texans can put up anything, which at this point versus this defense is not looking likely. It's definitely not looking likely. Too much water can make you vomit. I was actually thinking that yesterday. I was like, I think I drank like 6 bottles of water in the span of like, I don't know, 3 hours, 2 hours. And I think honestly, I was thinking that as well. Here comes Joey Bosa. Look at that. Oh, he shakes off the sack. And you know what? It doesn't matter because Khalil Mack is right there. And Joey Bosa is going to pick it right back up. And the Chargers got themselves the ball at the 12-yard line. Have mercy. He's already dead. This team's done. Already dead. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. This is a bloodbath. Austin Eckler gets the carry. Solid yards. Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack have absolutely dominated Davis Mills this game. Get out of town, man. Probably drank too much too fast. Yeah. But you feel like you're going to die. You feel like you're going to die if you don't drink water. Because we have an outside freezer, right? So we keep them in there. And it's just so hot. It's so hot. You're just like, I'm dying. And then, yeah, I guess it could have led to vomiting. Oh, it was so brutal. 3rd and 5 coming. And the nausea. The day before yesterday, maybe 3 days ago, I'm sure I got heat exhaustion because the nausea was... all day, dude. I just could not eat anything. I was so nauseous. And who's in the end zone but the big target, Mike Williams? Look at that route, too, man. Stepped right in front of his defender. Nice little curl. Nothing he could do. Just right there. Bodied him out. Boom. Done. That's a touchdown. You know what? That's still a touchdown. That's a touchdown, Chargers. Mike Williams, and the score is ridiculous again. I may have to look at all the rosters. I mean, these last 2 games we knew were going to be maybe blowouts, but this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Let's go. 81's in the chat. You live in Florida where it's high 90s, low hundreds in the summer, including the humidity. Yeah, dude, I can't with that. My wife is from Alabama, and I have frequently visited Florida, especially back when I was doing the Madden thing on the channel. I was quite frequently out there for EA's headquarters out there testing the new games and stuff. It was a lot of fun. It was good. I just can't do Florida humidity. I can't do humidity, period. With my wife in Alabama, I can't do it. I just don't do it. I was brought up in a very thin-aired atmosphere, right? Dry climate, very dry climate. Every time I go down south, I just feel like I'm choking. Just it's too thick. Yeah, ridiculous defensive effort so far. Remember, 2 of those touchdowns came from the defense. JC and Asante. Ridiculous. Hope it happens in real life. Dude, this is the revenge game score that we're all hoping for. After that last time that we met, like, this is what we're all hoping for. Chargers, a complete beatdown of the Houston Texans. Humidity is gross. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a humidity guy. Not at all. Of course, though, can you call... Oh, there's a flag on that play, though. Brandon Cooks is going to take this all the way. Unless there is a flag against the Houston offensive line, which I'm thinking is holding. No, it was defensive pass interference versus Bryce Callahan. The Houston Texans are going to get a touchdown via their best playmaker in Brandon Cooks. They did it. Good for the Texans, I guess. I was going to say, is it fair to call any, like, LA and San Diego, like, humid at all? I don't feel like it's humid every time, because I used to quite frequently spend a lot of time in San Diego, like every single year, week, 2 weeks. You know, I never felt that way the way I do about Florida or Alabama. Yeah, that's a big play by Brandon Cooks. If anything, this will keep the Houston Texans from feeling too beaten down in this game. But it's some more dry. Yeah, I've always felt the same way. We have another 52-13 game. It's here. We've arrived. We have arrived. Once you live in Florida long enough, you get used to it. It's definitely good for athletic conditioning. Yeah, I have had friends that have visited or traveled from humid areas like that here, and it's evident that they're struggling. Thin air is so different from people who've only experienced like Florida. The biggest thing I always hear is that they get dry, right? Like they're used to the humidity and their skin just can't handle it. Like you can see it all over their face and all over their hands. You're just like, whoa, this person's aging like 30 years in 5 minutes. It's interesting how that works. Who's the kicker? We got Dustin Hopkins. Walk away for 2 minutes, get water, Texans score. Yeah, they did. Josh, please stay put. Please. Brandon Cooks broke away. And there was also pass interference. It didn't matter, but Brandon Cooks broke away. Long touchdown pass. 2 blowouts back to back. You could say 3 because the Chargers really did manhandle the Kansas City Chiefs as well. This defense has just been on another... Because the offense has been good. It's been just as good as we would hope from last season, right? But it's the defense. The defense has been almost impenetrable. Except for the Raiders game. The Raiders game, it was pretty close. The defense did let up a lot of points. Look at that pass. Josh Palmer breaking multiple tackles. And Justin Herbert with that pass goes over 300 yards. And the Chargers, again, are marching. Please run the ball. Chew the clock. Please, Chargers. Follow some semblance of logical clock management here as we get close to the fourth quarter. Yeah, manhandled for sure. Chula Vista, 76 of the Breeze. Yeah, one day I'm going to get my butt out there. Hope I get my jersey signed at training camp August 7th. Good luck. I'm so jealous. I honestly, this year, I was looking at prices and I was making arrangements. I wanted to make a surprise appearance at the training camp, right? I wanted just to come show up, not to like, hey, everybody, what's up? I'm the director, but more because I want to go see it. I want to see these players. I want to have fun. And it was around that time that I got COVID and I canceled all those plans. I was like, there's no way. Even if I feel better by that time, I don't want to get nobody sick. I don't want to get on a plane. Maybe next year. Maybe next year. You're on vacation when this game happened, ruined my trip. Dude, I was so upset. I was so cocky. I was so upset, too. I kind of ruined my week, too. Shall stay in my seat the rest of the game. Thank you. Thank you. That's a responsible choice. We'll be right back here, guys, as the quarters end. Fourth quarter underway. Would love to see the Chargers run. We'll be right back. Third and 13 for the Chargers. And you know what? They ran. I can respect it. 4th and 16, they're going to punt it away. Nothing wrong with that. Chiefs going to be trash this season without Hill. They're still going to be good. They're still going to be good. I hate to admit it. They are going to be good. But Hill and Mahomes, and you could say Kelsey too, that trio was such a unique combination in terms of the different skill sets that they brought, especially Tyreek Hill. In terms of taking a 10-yard, slip screen all the way to the house multiple times if he had to. Like, that ability to be so uncatchable burned us so many times. And that being said, they do have speedsters still. They got MVS, so Marquez Valdez-Scantling on their team still. Juju can be fast-ish, right? But not having Tyreek is going to be felt more than I think Chiefs fans are admitting. Because when you pair a player like that with Patrick Mahomes, you're consistently seeing big things happen, right? When you pair a player like Marquez Valdez-Scantling with Mahomes, it's not in any way the same. Because MVS, we have to remember, he's coming from, Aaron Rodgers, who could many believe is much better than Patrick Mahomes. Not much better, but in the same league at least, right? Like, I think it's going to make a bigger impact than we all think. And I'm hoping we're right. And I'm hoping with the Chargers, track record the last couple of years of really being able to at least figure out Patrick Mahomes, that it all adds up to a, not passing of the torch, but a taking of the torch. The top team in the AFC West. But you still can't take away the talent of Mahomes, Kelsey. Andy Reid's a great coach. We cannot in any way take him lightly. Here comes Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack. Dude, it happened again. Are you kidding me? This time for a touchdown. Are you kidding me? Strip sack by Joey Bosa. Khalil Mack all the way back to the house. And that is a Chargers touchdown. The third touchdown defensively by this team this week. And the Chargers, with still 12 minutes left to play, have matched their score versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Get out of here. Are you kidding me? Two strip fumbles by Joey Bosa this game. This duo is unbelievable. Wow. Hill made the whole offense work because he drew cornerback safety. Yeah, that too. The things that he did that weren't directly as a result of his play also affected what the defense was allowed to do, right? The defense had to play deep. You had to have speedsters. You had to have a whole formula to hope to contain Tyreek Hill. And even then, that didn't work every time. Now, you can play a little closer to the line of scrimmage. You can keep Derwin James on Travis Kelce. You've got J.C. Jackson shadowing who? Juju Smith-Schuster? You got Bosa and Mack coming after a Patrick Mahomes every single down. It's different and for the better. Karen coming back with the $20 holla. Karen, thank you so much. I appreciate so much the support. Thank you. That is so generous. She says, I am an equal opportunity fan. So here you go, director. My sympathy to the Texans. The two blowout stomping, nose in the dirt and the piss in the turf resulted in some very, very, very nice non-biased equal opportunity sympathy hollers from Karen. Thank you so much, Karen, for your continued support, always being here, making the day better. I really appreciate you. Thank you again, and our sympathies to the Houston Texans, who are feeling the wrath of a team scorn in 2022. Absolutely unbelievable. Here comes Davis Mills trying to piece something together to carry into their next week. Wow, thank you again so much, Karen. First pick 2022 fantasy draft, Chargers defense. Yeah, for real. I think, honestly, they'll be a top 3 defense in terms of people considering what, in like the late rounds again. They're definitely going to be on my radar. I don't know. Almost possible, but what if Bosa breaks Strahan's sack record? If there was any a year that Bosa could go off, it's definitely this season. I think we're going to see his best year of his career. I think in my predictions, I had him somewhere in the realm of between 16 and 18 sacks, which is insane, by the way. But if this team and what I'm seeing in camp forms the way that we're all hoping, this could be one of the most ludicrous in terms of numbers and sattage that we've maybe ever seen for the Chargers in terms of sacks. And this is a team that, once featured the talents of Sean Merriman and Sean Phillips. That season was nuts too. You never know. I think it's going to be awesome. As long as people can stay healthy, which, again, I'm kind of superstitious in that way. You got to consider that. Antonio!
High voltage sign. High voltage sign. Thank you for the amazing content. Can't wait to see Mac and Bosa in the regular season. High voltage sign. High voltage sign.
Thank you so much, Antonio Serrano, for the $20 holla and the mad love there. Nico's going to pick up the first down on that play. Thank you. I really appreciate all of the love. The Mac Bosa attack duo is honestly, like, as a Chargers fan for the most part, the last, decade, 2 decades, we've all been majorly excited, I would say, for Phillip Rivers and Mike Williams, Vincent Jackson, even Melvin Gordon at times, Hunter Henry. The offense has really been, and Keenan Allen, of course, the offense has really been the driving force of excitement for the Chargers. For the first time, maybe ever for me, I think I'm like equally or maybe even more excited for the defense, which is weird because we have Justin Herbert and Keenan and Mike and Everett and Eckler and all these guys. This defense has got me so stoked. I am so excited to see when the defense takes the field. Derwin James, the quarterback of the defense, leads that unit, and what kind of havoc that they can create. And Bosa and Mac are again, just the over-the-top cherry on top, right? It's so exciting. Antonio, thank you so much for the $20 holla, the love, the support, and the hype for the Bolts. Here comes a pass by Mills, who does, by the skin of his teeth, hit Brandon Cooks for a first down conversion there. 9 minutes left to play. Texans trying to get up in the double digits. Yeah, we'll see if the Chargers team lets up a little bit, but my goodness, so far 52-7. Back-to-back games have been ludicrous in terms of score tilting. Ridiculous. The D-line is coming like, the defensive line too, dude. It's ridiculous. We've also seen some big plays, even in the simulation from defensive tackle, which is much more difficult to do in Madden. Sebastian Joseph-Day, Austin Johnson. Austin Johnson got a sack last game. You know what I mean? Like, just from top to bottom, it's almost hard to wrap your mind around how good this team really has gotten over the course of one offseason, because it rarely happens, especially if you're a Chargers fan. We never really have gone all in, at least in my time, repping the Bolts. There's a touchdown for the Texans. Is that Nico? I think that's a tight end, actually. We'll have to wait and see. Touchdown, Houston Texans. They're trying to maybe crawl out of the gutter just a little bit in terms of the score. But he's going to burn J.C. Jackson, which is in no way realistic. But good for the Texans. Good for the Texans. I completely lost my train of thought. Yeah, just wrapping your mind around how legitimately good the team is. Again, because in my time as a fan, I've never seen the team do this. It almost creates this environment of disbelief, right? You're kind of in that shock phase even now as we're in training camp, as we're getting close to preseason. Of course, maybe even once we see kickoff, until we see the first performance by the defense, and hopefully by that time everybody's locked in and gelled, and again, all the signs are pointing towards that in training camp. Until we really see it, I don't think we can fully comprehend what Brandon Staley and Tom Telesco have done over the course of one offseason. Because it's easy to look at the surface and be like, Bosa and Mac, that's going to be super cool. And of course, that's the focal point of me and a lot of other people like Antonio too. Like, we're so excited to see that duo go to work. But then you look at other aspects of the defensive roster. JC and Asante. Wow. Huge steal of Asante last season. He's got huge potential. He's going to bust out, with Bryce Callahan also, who's also a really good pickup. And JC Jackson, also a really good pickup. The defensive line in a Sebastian Joseph Day, he's going to be amazing. Right? Austin Johnson, both these guys together, the run defense should look vastly improved. Their size, their sheer strength should also free up Bosa and Mac. Like, everything works in complement of each other. I think guys like Kyle Van Noy, greatly underrated as a huge signing for the Chargers defense this season. We might see, an uplifting in production from other players because of the help that they're getting from these high-quality teammates that they're playing besides nowadays. Maybe Jerry Tillery has a bit of a bounce back. Kenneth Murray, who's now learning from Kyle Van Noy. That's a huge boost in mentorship. Everything from top to bottom. And we didn't even mention Derwin James, right? Everything from top to bottom is mind-blowing. And then you've got the rookies who are coming into perhaps one of the best situations that you could possibly walk into as a new player in the NFL, both in terms of a high-quality defense, high-quality offense, of course, obviously, too, but just the sheer talent around you, the development, the mentorship, the speed in which you become an impact on the team. That is multiplied by how much percent? JT Woods is going to be learning from Derwin James and Nasir Adderley and the other DBs, right? Asante Samuel Jr., young guy, going to be learning from JC and Bryce Callahan. You got even guys like Tito Agbonia. That guy's going to be learning from Sebastian Joseph Day, Austin Johnson, and then, of course, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack. You got younger guys like Chris Rumpf, maybe Jamal Davis, these other guys, these other depth pieces that are going to be learning from these legends of the game. All of this just seems so hard to really wrap your mind around. The impact, not just on the surface, but everything underneath it, everything in between. From the depth to the quality of play of teammates beside one another to the effect that it's going to have as a formula. Pass rush, elevating, coverage time. Coverage time, elevating time to get to the quarterback. Coverage up the middle with so many DBs. Mark Webb has been looking fantastic playing the money position, which is basically your hybrid linebacker safety. His coverage from that position, 6'2", very fast. He's been looking fantastic. Everything is about to change. And my goal this offseason has been to put out as much content as I possibly can to get us as a fan base as close to an understanding of this change as possible. And a lot of people will tell me, well, director, you're overhyping it, or you're setting people up for disappointment. I don't think that's the case at all, because I feel like if there's a season to really put yourself out there, put your emotions and your optimism on the line, put your neck on the line, and set yourself up, let's say, for disappointment if things don't work out, it's this season. It's this is the season to risk it. This is the season to really declare your fandom, to go all out, because this is the best opportunity in my lifetime that I can think of that the Chargers have had to really turn a corner that's both impressive and produces results. So anyway, that's my speech. I even as a guy who pays so much attention to this and puts out so much content, I don't think even I have a full grasp on how big this season could be. And hopefully, again, it all works out. But every move I've seen has been so calculated and so intelligent that I can't help but be overly optimistic for what the result might be. Anyway, there's my speech. Sometimes I get carried away, but I need to emphasize that. I really, really do. 3rd and 1 for Davis Mills in a 14-52 game. And you know what? He says hello to Jerry Tillery. Jerry Tillery puts him on his butt. Davis Mills is upset. 3:41 left to play. It's a 4th and 15. This game is over. Chargers fans live with disappointment. We can't be set up for it. The longest time, too, and that's why it's so difficult for even me as a Chargers fan not to buy into it, because I'm a hype person. I get excited about stuff. I wake up every day, I'm excited about something. You know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of the way my brain works. I love looking at things from a certain perspective. But as a Chargers fan, you have to admit that the last decade, further, whatever, it feels like this team was designed to get your hopes up as high as they possibly can, both in-game, off-season, rumors, whatever. You are going to the Super Bowl in your brain. You're going to grab that win with your brain. All of the pieces set forth in front of you look like this is a dub. And then by some miracle of unfortunate circumstance, you fall on your face at the last second. At the last second! And you're already way up here at the highest of points, so falling that distance hurts even more. And for the longest time, it felt like that's kind of what this team was meant to do, because you had so much hope, and then something weird and unlikely and so out of left field happens that you're let down even harder than you would have been, right? And so, as a Chargers fan, it's so hard to buy in because you've been hurt so many times. I get it. I understand it. But this is why I love Brandon Staley so much, and why I firmly am in his side with the Sean Payton thing, is because of every single move that we've made is so different from what I've seen from the Chargers in the past. Chargers in the past were kind of loosey-goosey. We're kind of stubborn, right? They had a thing they wanted to do, and they overloaded, one thing, and it made no sense, right? Eckler's trying to close this game out, by the way. It made no sense. Anthony Lynn, despite all the talent that he had vertically, he chose to put all his eggs in the basket of a free agent running back and run, and do the same thing over and over. Mike McCoy, back in that day too, it felt like the acquisitions were stupid. The ignoring of the offensive line was infuriating. The defense needed so much help. He didn't know how to call a game. Infuriating. But every piece of evidence that I have on Brandon Staley so far, let's say even the things that didn't work out, like the 4th down conversions, there's so much thought behind that. There's reasoning behind that. There's data that backs up what happens when you go for it on 4th down. At some point of a game, with whatever score that may be at the time, there's evidence to back up that this is the right choice. And the reason that even holds weight and water with me in terms of his decision making is that it goes beyond the field. It goes in terms of, do we let Joey Bosa come back into this game after hitting a concussion? He's got a history. We know about this history. We've done our homework. Let him sit out. That's what's right. That's what's smart. That's what's good for the player and for this team. It goes into the offseason, where he's not only bringing in people understanding the situation we're in cap-wise with Justin Herbert and his rookie deal, but also hand-selecting stars that work within the system that he built with Vic Fangio and perfected with Sean Payton and the Rams, or with the Rams defense in 2019. And everybody, as a result, is so understanding of how the system works that it's going to give us an opportunity to really jump into week 1 in as close to mid-season form as possible. It's just all of the intelligence behind every decision is so much more comforting than the sporadic, weird, nonsensical decision-making that we've seen the last 20 years. Again, there's my other speech. Let's go ahead and say it real quick. That's a Chargers touchdown. Austin Eckler. Chargers up 59-14. We're just waiting as a formality for the last 32 seconds. Oh, I love it right now, man. I am so freaking passionate about this team, and I've been there, not as long as a lot of you guys, but like, I've been there through the heartache, through the letdowns, through the confusion, and I've always felt like it's us shooting ourselves in the foot, you know, even with the injury stuff so many years in a row. Like, just be careful, find an emphasis and focus on what you can do. And even Brandon Staley did even that last season, right? Knock on wood again that things, work out the same way. But it just feels like when you look at what they're doing, there's so much more sense to be made of every decision. Whereas in years past, I'm really struggling to figure out why in the heck they would do this or that or ignore this or that. Now we're looking at a team that's like, not only did you completely revamp this defense, but you revamped it in the best possible way imaginable with players that understand the system, understand our head coach, have the talent next to them to complement each other. This is why a one-season overhaul is more likely to be successful, because of the intelligent decision-making that went into those changes. So anyway, super excited. We're waiting for the last 26 seconds. Can we get another pick or something just to kind of, really put the salt in the wound? I don't know. Left came back. Yeah, we destroyed the Jaguars. We destroyed the Texans. We were kind of expecting that. Good revenge game for the Chargers right now. We smothered these guys. We all hope these are the actual scores as well. Spiller, Palmer, Guyton, Everett, Parham must be X factors for our offense to be unstoppable, because we know Eckler, Allen, Williams will get it done. Yep. And again, this is the same offense, even better than it was last season. Because again, we didn't have Brian Bulaga for most of it, if not all of it, right? And that really does say something. It really does. Because if the offense was a top 5 last year, now we got Zion Johnson, some nice offensive linemen. We got some boosted running back depth and guys that can contribute right away. We got a nice new tight end who I think is going to break out. The offense just got better, and they were top 5 last year. So I think it's just, good signs of things to come. There goes a rather impressive reception for Brandon Cooks, or Nico Collins on the sideline. 11 seconds to go. Houston Texans are trying to Hail Mary their way into the end zone to wrap this up. Same goes Cromartie had. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's just so many things that we used to do that I even as a younger fan, right? Because I became a fan like at the age of 14, 15, 16, somewhere around there. I was a kid. Even then, when I wasn't really even savvy with the sport, both family sides of my family are of different, nationality descent, like New Zealand and Mexico. So there's just really no connection to the NFL. Even as someone who didn't really understand the game at a level as people who did when they grew up playing Pee Wee football, I was like, what are we doing? even at that age. And this is the first time in a long time where I'm like, every decision that's being made has had some very, very convincing logic behind it. Whereas I'm convinced this is the right choice. The one outlier this season that I do not agree with, that I think was dumb, and it was similar to those decisions that I felt about in the past. Can you guys guess it in the chat? It was letting go of Kaiser White. That was the one thing. But outside of that, there was 24 other decisions that really blew my socks off. Well, that's gonna do it for Sim Sunday episode 2. I'm not going to say it was a snoozer, because there was plenty of action, plenty of Chargers, huge plays defensively, offensively. Justin Herbert over 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. Defense scored 2 or 3 touchdowns? What? Sim Sunday tomorrow, episode 3 will be premiering. I'm gonna say lightly until I find, I have to talk to the wife. We got to figure out the schedule. I'm gonna say noon Pacific. It's kind of what we're aiming for. Let's go ahead and try and figure out the game ball situation here. Austin Eckler 150 and a tutty, ridiculous. How did Isaiah Spiller do? He only got 2 carries that game. Receiving, Gerald Everett, 78 and a tutty. Keenan, 986. Mike Williams, 8 for 77, 2 touchdowns. Austin Eckler, another score in the ground. Ridiculous. Defensively, it's going to go to someone on defense this week, right? Total sacks, Van Noy, Bosa, Callahan, Adderley, Derwin James. Tackle for loss, Bosa was all over the place. Mack, Joseph. Sacks, 3.5 sacks for Joey Bosa. Khalil Mack had 1.5. Khalil Mack also had a touchdown, which is ridiculous. JC had 2 interceptions and a touchdown. And then we had the forced fumble. Joey had 3. It's going to Joey. I thought for sure it was going to JC Jackson. It's going to Joey Bosa. I'm declaring it. JC with 2 interceptions and a touchdown. Super impressive. You rarely see that in any NFL game. But Joey had 3 forced fumbles. Joey had 3 forced fumbles and 3.5 sacks. Are you kidding me? And the forced fumble resulted in a touchdown for Khalil Mack. Can we safely say that's fair? It's got to go to Bosa. Yo, that's stupid. That's ridiculous. Yeah, we got to get out of town with that one, man. I think that's fair. We're going to give this game ball to Joey Bosa. This game was absolutely unreal in terms of defense, and I think that's going to be a trend that we continue to see. By tomorrow, I feel like I'm going to have the rest of the rankings or the ratings updated for the Chargers in Madden 23. So if we see any complaining about like, oh my God, you're rigging all of the ratings and stuff, no, we're not. We're following what Madden's given us. If anything, I won't be able to adjust the teams of that we were facing quite all the way. I can adjust their like depth chart a little bit and the players that should be playing, but I don't have the time to go through and do every single player. Hopefully somebody out there in the world is doing that and they can put the roster up for download. But this should be, again, very representative of what the team will look like at Madden 23 at least. The names and everything else and what follows is as a result of insanely intelligent and executed roster building by Telesco and Brandon Staley. Are we surprised? Is that what Brandon Staley used to say all the time in the locker room? Are we surprised about what just happened? Huh, chat? Are we surprised about what just happened? No. I think Chargers defense is the real deal. And I think, again, kind of a swollen and over-the-top example of what we could see in real life as Madden. But I think that is, in some ways, in some degree, a sneak peek of what's actually to come. As soon as what? Like a couple of weeks now in preseason, and then we're looking at the kickoff in about a month from that. It's coming, dudes. It's coming. Well, guys, thank you so much for the support today. Everybody who was in here watching, cheering, all the super chats, Antonio, Karen, everybody for all the love and support. Thank you to everybody for showing up in this impromptu Sim Saturday episode. Again, episode 3 is going to be premiering tomorrow. Again, the loose time that I've got is noon Pacific, in which we are going to be seeing the Chargers face the Cleveland Browns at their stadium, and then a home game versus the Denver Broncos. And, of course, both these opponents probably going to offer a bit more fight than we saw in the Jags and the Houston Texans today. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been The Director. We'll see you next time. I got a bunch of work to go do on the truck. You guys have been great. You guys are great and a lot of fun to hold conversation with. I really appreciate all aspects and all topics that we got to talk about and hanging out here watching Sim Sundays. We'll see you guys next time. I'll see you tomorrow, as a matter of fact. As always, bolt up, stay frosty. You know what? This is Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa's world now. We're all just living in it. Much love, guys.
Want to watch football without the restrictions of blackouts or cable? Check out expressvpn.com to help you get access to all the live games. Sign up today using the link in the description to get 3 free months.